the Act. That would force the state to report on spending and unpaid bills every month as opposed to once a year. Governor Rauner scored a rare victory over House Speaker Michael Madigan when the House failed to override a Rauner veto. The bill in question would bar local governments from passing anti-union right-to-work ordinances. Rauner calls that anti-business, but Kathleen Willis of Northlake argued for the House override.
Employers do not all do what's right for the employees. We need to have oversight. That is why the unions are there, to fight for your rights as an employee.
The House failed, or rather the override failed by one vote, but the state sponsor, Marty Moylan, plans to file a new bill during the veto session next month. In sports, one and done for the Chicago Fire, ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. And the Bulls host Atlanta, the Hawks, tonight. And as you heard, the Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6 in 11 to tie the World Series at a game apiece. The news is service of Burlington. Make Burlington stores your coat headquarters for your whole family. Save up to 65% off other retailers' prices every day. Burlington's packed with anoraks, faux leather, quilted bombers, puffers, plus boots, scarves, and hats and gloves. Burlington, style for everyone. AM 560 News Time 5:04. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Two strong banking teams have united to help you continue to grow your business with the same dedication and even more opportunities. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. The same team you know and trust now brings deeper resources, global banking reach, and the power to help your business seize new opportunities. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit us at cibc.com/US. Member FDIC.
You've put off that new vehicle long enough. Now there's absolutely no excuse.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford during their model year-end sales event. They're making room for next year's models, and that means you'll save big.
You'll get the best rebate offers of the year and save hundreds to thousands on brand new 2017 Fords.
Plus, all new vehicles come with the Joe Cotton Ford Advantage program. You'll save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more.
There's a reason generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to family-owned and operated Joe Cotton Ford. It's all about a different car buying experience with world-class customer service and people you can trust.
No hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics now and for as long as you own your vehicle.
There's still a great selection during the Ford model year-end sales event, but hurry, it won't last.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender, who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs, because he thought my competitor's closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender, who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
At 5:08 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, let's say hello to Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, David. Things look pretty good on the expressways and tollways for the most part, as the overnight roadwork has cleared in many places. The outbound Bishop Ford Freeway is looking fine. There were some earlier delays, but the overnight work is gone. Inbound, we're starting to see a little congestion approaching the Rhine. Inbound I-57 has about a 1 or 2 minute delay from Halstead to the Merge. The Rhine is good inbound. Outbound, the entrance ramp from 87th remains closed till 6. And we see mild delays from 87th to 95th, where the left lane is closed. Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower, and the Stevenson all looking good. Lakeshore Drive is fine. The tollways have all the overnight roadwork gone. We see no delays there. I-65 in both directions between State Road 2 and 153rd Avenue. It's northbound starting around State Road 2. Southbound from 231 to 153rd Avenue. That roadwork in the left lane till 6. We're not seeing delays, though. Traffic at the service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. It's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Frost advisory in effect for this morning. Partly sunny and breezy today, high 58. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 40. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, high 46. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at the lakefront, 40 at Midway, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next, News 530. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, Amy, yesterday, President Trump was caught by the D.C. gaggle to ask about how the worm turns in the Russian collusion investigation, particularly with the revelation on, what's today, Tuesday?
Ew.
That the dossier.
The dossier?
Yeah, was funded by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. They said, no big deal. Brian Fallon, former Hillary Clinton spokesman, no big deal. It's just opposition research, just what we do, which doesn't explain all the palace intrigue surrounding the dossier for these many months. If it was no big deal, why not just come clean and preemptively disclose and take the, as I said, take the intrigue away from it? President Trump kind of thought the same thing when he addressed the assembled media yesterday.
The whole Russian thing is what it's turned out to be. This was the Democrats coming up with an excuse for losing an election. It's an election that's very hard for a Democrat to lose because the Electoral College is set in such a way that it's very hard to lose that election for a Democrat. They lost it. They lost it very badly and very easily. I mean, you look at the votes. It was 306 to 223 or something. They lost it by a lot. They didn't know what to say, so they made up the whole Russia hoax. Now it's turning out that the hoax is turned around, and you look at what's happened with Russia, and you look at the uranium deal, and you look at the fake dossier, so that's all turned around.
Yeah, it's turned around, and so the Democrats are trying to do damage control. And one of the stories that was out yesterday, this was originally funded by Republicans, and Trump responded to that claim.
Yes, it might have started with the Republicans early on in the primaries. I think I would know, but let's find out who it is. I'm sure that will come out. I think I would have, if I were to guess, I have one name in mind. It'll probably be revealed.
Oh, there's the tease. There's the reality TV show guy back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can guess who Trump guesses that Republican may be. Here's the problem, as Molly Hemingway rightly points out in her excellent piece in The Federalist. No, it wasn't funded by Republicans. That claim is false. That claim that was bandied about by the D.C. press corps is not true. She points out that Jake Tapper, for example, took down the tweet about this when the error was pointed out. Reported in our January 2017 story about Intel chiefs briefing Obama and Trump about the existence of the dossier. There is no evidence that a Republican donor or a Republican campaign was ever involved with the Russian dossier. This is Hemingway writing. Fusion GPS claimed to reporters, though they didn't provide evidence, that a Republican-funded separate operation research on Trump dealing with his business interests. And even in the Washington Post, the Amazon Post, I should say, excuse me, the dossier did not exist until after the Democrats hired Fusion GPS, per their reporting. So this was initially funded by Republicans to try and muddy the waters? No, it wasn't. And again, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Two questions that I haven't heard good answers to. One, if this was just standard operating procedure and it would have been malpractice not to pursue any and all leads on Trump as a matter of campaign opposition research, then why the hysteria over Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with the Russian lawyer to do the same, pursue any and all leads in the context of a campaign, in the context of opposition research? And two, why have to be outed by an anonymous source leaking to the Amazon Post? Why not come clean many, many moons ago?
Because that's what they do. They're slimy.
Well,
they're shady.
That's
they're really
answer.
good at it. I mean, after decades in politics, they've got this thing mastered. But people are getting sick of their modus operandi, and they're calling them out.
Well, here's the other thing. They may get sick of what was going on in the Obama administration and even at the FBI. The dossier, of course, this is where it gets very serious beyond just campaign politics, used as a basis for wiretaps on American citizens. And some of the claims have been discredited. Many of them are unsubstantiated. So why not release, as Andy McCarthy over at National Review has called for many times, why doesn't Trump release the applications for FISA warrants that were made by the Obama administration with respect to surveillance? Obviously, it's a FISA warrant, getting the authorization to surveil.
President Trump to release that?
Yeah. He's the president of the United States. He can declassify information. Why not release it? Put it all out there. The FBI also paid for the dossier. When Trump asked about the FBI, many political journalists feigned shock and outrage he would make such a claim. They shouldn't have, writes Hemingway. Their outlets had already reported that the FBI had tried to pay for the dossier and had, in fact, reimbursed expenses for the dossier. We do not know if those expenses included the payments to the Russian officials that were the sources for the dossier for salacious stories on President Trump. So the FBI could be the next shoe to drop here.
But the information in the dossier was made up.
Well,
I mean, even President Trump said that yesterday.
It was made up, and I understand they paid a tremendous amount of money, and Hillary Clinton always denied it.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
what's going on in our world?
Unsubstantiated, discredited, and unknown. Those are sort of the three categories of information in the dossier.
Okay.
But you've got those zeroing in now, not just on Hillary Clinton, her campaign, but also the FBI. The FBI from Wentz, Bob Mueller had a stint too, the special prosecutor in this case. So do we still have confidence in Bob Mueller to lead this special investigation? Trey Gowdy was asked that question. Here's what he had to say.
Robert Mueller is the right person to head up this independent counsel. Well, when you consider his background with the FBI and when you consider who worked under him and who you're investigating today.
Bill, I think this is a really difficult political environment that we're in. I'm not sure you could find anyone not named Jesus that everyone would be happy with. I actually am satisfied with Robert Mueller, and if there are questions to ask him about other matters when this probe is over, be happy to do it. But investigations, they should follow facts, and it really shouldn't matter who's leading them. Facts are what direct it. So I know I'm in a small group among Republicans, but I actually have confidence he's going to reach the right conclusions for the right reasons, and that he'll have credibility with the American people when he's done.
Interesting. Maybe that's a little bit of fellow prosecutor courtesy on behalf from Trey Gowdy on behalf of Bob Mueller. Maybe it's a little bit of him kind of politely, in a complimentary fashion, saying, Bob, do the right thing here. Do the right thing. We're going to give you a chance to do the right thing, Bob, but do the right thing, because sort of who investigates the investigators has now replaced who reports on the reporters.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, and that wasn't the only thing discussed at yesterday's impromptu press conference. President Trump on President Trump's intelligence. But first, here's your forecast for today. It's going to be mostly sunny. We're going to have a high near 57 degrees. Cloudy overnight, a low around 43. And then for Friday, yes, it's going to be mostly cloudy. Cool, a high near 45 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any hot spots? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. A little heavy, hot on the outbound Ryan. That's due to overnight construction. 3 left lanes are closed from 87th to 95th. Got about a 3 to 5 minute delay there. The entrance ramp from 87th is closed till 6 a.m. Inbound Ryan, just a little bit heavy now approaching downtown. Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower, all good with overnight work gone. Stevenson, too. On inbound I-57, it's a bit tight. Halstead to the merge. Bishop Ford, just a little bit of congestion. Nothing too bad yet approaching the Ryan. Tollways are good. I-65 has work. Northbound, State Road 2 in Lowell to 153rd Avenue. Southbound, 231 to 153rd Avenue. Left lane closed each way. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh, the holidays are fastly approaching, and now is the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for 1. The MyPillow buy one, get one free offer is back, folks, and I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage by using the promo code Amy. You'll get the absolute best deal available. I personally love my pillows. I get a great night's sleep. I move the fill to give me the support I need. I wake up feeling refreshed, no stiff neck or headache, and they're made in America. You can wash them and dry them. They're hypoallergenic. Plus, they have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee, and it's great to know that the founder, the owner of the company, has helped thousands of hurricane victims in Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillows as a gift for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy.
Yeah.
You eating breakfast right now? Put those corn pops down.
Oh.
Put the corn pops down. Step away from the corn pops, sir.
Oh. I saw this corn pops thing in the grocery store because I go to the grocery store 2 to 3 times a week.
Why the corn pops gotta be brown?
Well, there's only one brown corn pop. See, the corn pops, they have different characters. They're on the box. They show corn pops doing different things in life, but the one brown corn pop, because there's always one brown or maybe 2 in the box, the guy's doing something different. Or I mean, not to say guy, the corn pop. I don't want to label the corn pop
please.
male or female.
You don't know how the corn pop identifies. It's very presumptuous.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Kellogg is redesigning corn pop cereal boxes after a complaint about racially insensitive art on the packaging. Amy was referring to it. The corn pop characters are shown in a shopping mall setting, shopping, playing in an arcade, frolicking in a fountain, one skateboards down an escalator. But what struck the complainant
Should have brought in my corn pop box.
was that a single brown corn pop was working as a janitor operating a floor waxer.
No.
Saladin Ahmed apparently has more time than he knows what to do with, so he closely examined the corn pops box, and he asked, why is literally the only brown corn pop on the whole cereal box the janitor? This is teaching kids racism.
Well, not only that, but he's cleaning the floors in front of Uncle Willie's Corn on a Stick kiosk.
I don't, okay. What does that mean?
It's just Uncle Willie's. I don't know. I'm just saying if you want to get a picture of what this is, there's corn pops in a fountain, there's corn pops in a bowl, there's corn pops juggling, dancing, and then there's one guy with street clothes on and a baseball cap, and it looks like headphones, like he's listening to music, and he's cleaning the floor.
I can't wait to talk to Candace Owens. She's the YouTube vlogger, Red Pill Black. We're going to talk to her at the top of the 8 o'clock hour about whether we would be a more racially tolerant society but for these corn pops boxes. Do you think this is what's...
this is a stretch, folks.
This is what's separating the races? No, it's the subliminal messaging of the Kellogg cereal company.
No,
to foment racism.
Yeah. Some people are, because they're not taking it off the shelves right now. They're working to redesign the boxes. But I'm telling you, people are going to pick, these are going to be collector items. Ladies at the store today are going to be pushing each other over to get the corn pops box.
Because they're racist.
Yeah, well, no, because it's a piece of history. I mean, who wouldn't want to have that,
Maybe the corn
This
pops.
is what's wrong with society, Dan. And then you gather your children around and you show them the little corn pop in front of Uncle Willie's. Corn on a stick.
Yeah. Also, the brown corn pop.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a mouth either.
Well,
You're trying to silence the corn pops.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
Did they argue that,
No,
too?
I mean, since
Oh.
we're just making stuff up, I just figured I'd contribute. How about that?
He's the only one properly dressed. He's the only one with a job.
Maybe
while the others are just fartsing around doing whatever they want.
maybe all the corn pops to make it more in keeping with the zeitgeist. Maybe the corn pops should all have San Francisco 49ers jerseys on and be kneeling before the American flag. Would that be a better corn pops box? Could that help start a conversation, an important conversation about race? Thank you, Saladin Ahmed, for starting this important conversation. Kellogg spokesman said, "We take feedback very seriously, and it was never our intention to offend anyone." Right, we didn't think that corn pops would be found offensive, but we were wrong. We apologize sincerely. Should Kellogg's have apologized for this?
No, they should not have. I mean,
Oh, my goodness.
he's not even that. I mean, they all kind of look the same color anyway. It's just a little shade different. But again, he's the only one working with a job, and he's the only one with clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the corn pops,
Yeah.
do have mouths, though.
No, not all of them.
No, I'm looking right here.
No. Uh-uh. No.
Oh.
There's the one, like, standing on two spoons. He doesn't have a mouth.
There's one snorkeling in the fountain.
We're
One jumping rope.
We're going to go through all of the Corn Pops boxes here this morning for the next 3.5 hours just to make sure there are no other instances of obvious racism.
And a more important question, do you eat the brown corn pops or do you skip the one when you pour yourself a bowl of corn pops?
I mean, I don't know what to do anymore.
I eat it.
Kellogg's.
Racist.
Maybe we should boycott Kellogg's. But I mean, they are redesigning the box.
Mm-hmm.
What you know what they should do?
What?
They should free the brown corn pops.
What
Right?
do you
No brown corn pops. And they should do a big emancipation of the brown corn pops since we're going to engage in the silliness of looking at corn pops through the prism of race identity politics. Good grief.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll do a little campus beat. We haven't done campus beat in a while. Courses on Hugo Chavez that are laudatory, and math is evidence of white privilege, 538.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. It's 37 degrees in Chicago, 531 on AM 560, The Answer. Partly sunny and breezy today with a high of 58. The head of the House Intelligence Committee's Russia probe says not much has changed in their investigation after news that the Clinton campaign paid for the dossier that included dirt on President Trump.
It's just information we didn't have that we do now have. There's still a lot of other information that we want. Who started it and all that other stuff.
That's Texas Republican Mike Conaway. He said the committee is still actively looking for as much information about the dossier as they can find. The House tentatively scheduled to vote today on the Senate's budget proposal. The Senate's plan is light on details, but would increase the national debt by $1.5 trillion. President Trump's going to declare opioid abuse a national emergency. He's expected to talk about his plans to tackle the epidemic later today. A construction worker died after getting stuck in a sewer pipe in northwest suburban Streamwood. Fire Chief Chris Clark says crews had a difficult time rescuing the victim, who got trapped last night installing lining in the sanitary sewer near Park Boulevard and Parkside Circle.
That liner material was bunched up at the bottom of the manhole, so the firefighters were not able to get down the pipe to access him without cutting a lot of the lining out.
Authorities say the man was underground for about 4 hours. He died at the scene. A massage therapist is accused of sexually assaulting a woman earlier this year at a massage parlor in the Loop. Anthony Winters has bond set at $10,000. And a Chicago-based priest is providing support to those affected by the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas. The Sun-Times reports Reverend Cleet Kelly of the Hotel Workers Union blessed the hotel floor and the room where a sniper fired at a crowd of people attending a country music festival this month. In sports, one and done for the Chicago Fire, ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. Bulls host Atlanta tonight. The news is service of Geico Chicago. Hey, Chicago, Geico now has even more ways to save you money. Your local Geico agent's ready to deliver the personal service you need with the savings you love. Call 773-582-AUTO. That's 773-582-AUTO for your local Geico agent. AM 560 News Time 5:33. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? There is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
At Kohl's, it's time to stack the savings. Don't miss Kohl's 50% off sale this Thursday through Sunday. Take 50% off hundreds of select items store-wide. Plus, take an extra 20% off. Plus, take an extra $10 off when you spend $50 or more. Plus, everyone gets Kohl's Cash. Plus, Yes to You members earn triple points. Thursday through Sunday, only at Kohl's. Select styles. Offers valid October 26th through 29th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
What if job searching could be easy? Like, what if you could search for a job, research the company, and apply all on the same site? You can do that on Glassdoor. Want to know what a job pays before you apply? Want a job with a shorter commute? You can find that on Glassdoor. What about insider info from actual employees? Yep, you can find that on Glassdoor too. Plus interview questions, CEO ratings, all on one site. So go to Glassdoor.com or download the app today. Glassdoor. Find the job that fits your life.
At 5:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. South side of Chicago, 83rd Street is closed between Ellis and Woodlawn. There's been a collision involving a Chicago police vehicle at a construction site. Edens is fine. The Kennedy as well. Reversibles are open inbound. Eisenhower inbound. Getting a little congestion now in the area east of Manheim. 30 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Inbound Stevenson tight, Cicero to Pulaski. Looking at a travel time, 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound fine at 34. Go to Ryan, heavy 18th into the Burn Circle. 17 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 18 with roadwork delays from 87th to 95th. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the Verge, Bishop Ford the same. Lakeshore Drive is fine. No delays to report up the tollways for Northwest Indiana. Traffic is a service of Burlington. Make Burlington stores your coat headquarters for your whole family. Save up to 65% off other retailers' prices every day. Burlington's packed anoraks, faux leather, quilted, bombers, puffers, plus boots, scarves, hats, and gloves. Burlington style for everyone. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 for The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Partly sunny and breezy today, high of 58. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 40. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler with a high of 46. Right now, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
Joe Walsh here. The establishment isn't struggling because of Trump. They're struggling because they've lost touch with the American voter. Freedom will get in touch at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, which Hollywood celebrity, media personality, or politician is the latest to be outed and accused of serial sexual harassment or worse? I got lots of choices today for our daily installment. What's become a daily installment.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start with Mark Halperin.
Okay.
He, veteran journalist Mark Halperin, he wrote, co-authored Game Change. 5 women have come forward to CNN accusing him of sexual harassment. It happened when he was in charge at ABC News, their political director. And here's what he did. Excuse me. It gets a little emotional. He would try to kiss them, grab them, grab one lady. He grabbed her breast, and on all 5, they all agree at some point in time he had an erection in his pants and pushed his genitals against their bodies.
Okay, I'm not going to have that with my corn pops.
Okay, the women, one lady said he invited me to his office to have a soda and talk. As soon as I get in the office, he just kissed me and grabbed my boobs. I just froze. I did not know what to do.
Now, Halperin denies grabbing a woman's breasts and pressing his genitals against the 3 women.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I reported his denial is just so I could read that sentence.
Exactly. He said, because CNN contacted him last night, and he said, I now understand from these accounts that my behavior was inappropriate and caused others pain. For that, I am deeply sorry and I apologize. Under the circumstances, I'm going to take a step back from my day-to-day work while I properly deal with this situation. So basically, he's been an analyst on NBC News, and he makes appearances if not every day, every other day on our favorite show, Morning Joe. So he's going to be
where Joe and Mika sexually harass each other every morning.
Yeah, they go, you stop it, you do that. But here's the thing, NBC had no comment. No comment. This happened about 10 years ago when he worked at ABC. It gets even better. There was one Cub reporter who wanted to be on the campaign trail, so she went into his office to see if he could assign her to cover a candidate. She said, the first meeting I ever had with him was in his office, and he just came up from behind. I was sitting in his chair across from his desk, and he came up behind me while he was clothed. He pressed his body on mine, his penis on my shoulder. I was obviously completely shocked. I can't even remember how I got out of there. But I got out of there and was freaked out by the whole experience. Given I was so young and knew I wasn't sure if that was the sort of thing that was expected of you if you wanted something from a male figure in news.
Yeah, okay. I mean, 5 women,
and one woman,
and I mean, importantly, so we're not accused of rushing a judgment here. Halperin, as you said, apologized, and he also said, I now understand from these accounts my behavior was inappropriate and caused others pain. All these statements are these kind of mea culpa statements that are not mea culpa statements are so odd to me. I thought that putting my unit on someone's shoulder was just being friendly. Yeah. Now hearing it back to me, now I understand. Well, boy, I shouldn't have done that. But I was just a runt of, in my early 40s at the time. I didn't know right from wrong.
One of the women said for the last 11 years, I've had to watch this guy find success in every other news organization and with writing the book, and wondered, how is this happening? One other, like, in retrospect, I'm such a coward. I wish I had said something. I wish I had done something. But everybody was afraid. I mean, women, first of all, you're shocked when it happens. I mean, the guy invites you to his, office for a soda. And next thing you know, he's pushing his junk up on your shoulder. I mean, that's just weird. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not a healthy work environment.
Well, now hearing you say that, now okay.
But NBC better pony up and kick him off the air or suspend him. Or is he self-suspending himself by saying he's going to take a step back from his day-to-day work?
Yeah, maybe beating them to the punch.
Did you say beating?
I did.
Okay.
How about this one? George Herbert Walker Bush.
Oh, I saw that story yesterday. What in the world? I thought it was fake news at first, or an Onion piece.
He issued an apology to this actress, Heather Lind, after Miss Lind claimed H.W. touched her inappropriately and told her a lewd joke during a photo op 4 years ago. President Bush would never, under any circumstance, intentionally cause anyone distress. He most sincerely apologizes if his attempt at humor offended Miss Lind. Allegedly, according to Lind, when I got the chance to meet H.W. 4 years ago to promote a historical television show I was working on, he sexually assaulted me while I was posing for a similar photo. He didn't shake my hand. He touched me from behind, from his wheelchair.
What?
With his wife, Barbara Bush, by his side. He told me a dirty joke, and then, all while being photographed, touched me again.
Was he trying to make her wheelchair candy? I don't. Where like on her lower back?
According to
the buttocks. I need a body part, please.
The buttocks.
Is it the buttock?
According to Lind,
who is this chick anyway?
She's an actress. She was in what's that show? Washington Spies. Is that the show I think that's the show she's in. He didn't shake my hand, after she described what George H.W. did. She also described Barbara Bush as saying, Barbara Bush rolled her eyes as if to say, not again. There goes H.W. in response to the encounter, and that a security guard told her she shouldn't have stood next to him for the photo. 90-year-old dude and
in a wheelchair who's kind of a little, well, I mean, not senile, but I don't think all of his faculties are there. And you know what? If older people do that, let them do it. They're old. They're on the driveway home. Let them. I mean, I work out with this World War II vet. He asks me out to lunch and dinner every single time I see him. And he gets a little handsy, but it's okay. He served our country. He's on,
If I was
it's cute that he's got the gonads to come up to, I'm twice as tall as him, and he still, asks me out. I think that's sweet.
If I didn't get groped by old women, I wouldn't get groped at all.
You'd have no human contact.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not making light of Mark Halperin and what he's alleged to have done. But
this other story, come on. The guy's in a wheelchair.
It's his presidential privilege, young lady. Andrea and Morgan Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
He's a war hero, too.
Yes.
Good morning to you all, Dan.
Morning.
I still got that proposal out for you.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. You guys are going to get married, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the flower girl?
Yeah, so Dan, if any women are groping you, let me know.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
Sure, he'll take it.
And don't cross Andrea.
My comment today is that it's interesting that the left is so outraged over sexual harassment that all this that's going on, set aside Bill O'Reilly and what happened with him and how they went after him. But remember when they ridiculed the vice president when he said that he will only go to dinner with another woman if another man is there, and how he honors his wife, and they ridiculed him forever for that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. It doesn't seem so hokey now, does it? It doesn't seem so religious extremist now, does it? Thanks for the call, Andrea.
I
Appreciate
love
it.
her voice, too. Doesn't she have the best voice?
Andrea?
Andrea?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Very soothing. So how did you two meet? What was the courting? I mean, you don't just jump into marriage, Dan.
I think we're going to be very happy together.
I think so, too.
Wait, what was the...
Is there anybody else coming forward? Oh, another woman has come forward for Weinstein or whatever you call him.
Oh, there's a...
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, no, I've got that one. Hold on a second.
Okay.
There's a tweet.
Hold on, I've got that one. Hold on.
We need to clarify.
Yes.
Kevin Rooney has a question. Wasn't that a C&W song back in the 60s, Put Your Junk on My Shoulder? No, I don't. I think
it was Put Your
Head
on My Shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. But it's good. But it's a good question.
Who would ever think that was a smooth move? Coming to my office for a soda, and then from behind he puts that on our shoulder? I mean, oh, my God, what is wrong with people?
Here's another one.
Cut them all off.
A prominent editor at New Republic, I don't know how many people know who this guy is, but Leon Wieseltier.
I don't know. That name is fantastic.
It is.
Wieseltier?
Especially for a sexual harasser. Anything with weasel in it is probably a good name.
Yeah. Common spelling. Yeah. Wieseltier.
Leon Wieseltier. He looks like an 18th century composer, but he acts like Harvey Weinstein. Have you seen a picture of him?
No, let me see. Oh, that is not a good look for anybody. That's cotton candy hair there.
Long-standing, prominent editor at New Republic for 30 years. He was about to launch a new magazine next week, and that's not happening now because the philanthropist backing it has pulled out.
Thank you.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. He apologized for offenses against some of my colleagues in the past, several women accusing him of sexual harassment and inappropriate advances. I don't get the guys that do this. Women are recounting him commenting on their skirts, like your skirt isn't tight enough. One said he discusses sex life openly and notoriously, describing, the body parts of a former girlfriend. He made passes at female staffers, pressed them about details for their regarding their own sexual encounters. He also just would allegedly come up and just kiss people on the lips.
See,
who does that?
That man clearly has no boundaries.
you think? For offenses against some of my colleagues in the past, I offer a shaken apology and ask for their forgiveness. The women with whom I worked are smart and good people. I'm ashamed to know that I made any of them feel demeaned and disrespected. I assure them I will not waste this reckoning, said the 65-year-old. Yeah. And of course, throughout the years, he's been hailed as one of the great intellectuals, a legendary figure, legendary literary editor, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so you got that. And then, do you want to do the latest human stain accuser? Did you hear this one?
Oh, the one in London? She came forward. She had a tearful press conference yesterday.
Yeah. The Mimi,
what's her name?
Mimi Halii.
See, they're not even B-list actors. I don't even know who these people are.
Did you hear the thing about the tampon?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. She just said that the part that they played that was, appropriate for TV was that she was, he said, this is how everyone's made it in this business, by sleeping with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that he pushed her down on the couch and he raped her. What's the tampon? Come on. What?
He forcibly performed while she was, and removed the.
Okay.
Do you get it?
So you're saying he pulled the plug?
That's what I'm saying.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wait, no,
then he allegedly said, "Don't you feel like we're much closer now?"
Oh my God.
He's a subhuman
monster. I can't wait for him to go to jail. What do you want to do for a sentencing party? Forecast for today, it's going to be sunny, a high near 57 degrees. And then tomorrow, Friday, yes, it has arrived. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies with a high near 45 degrees, so a little bit chilly out there. How's Jim Telemonte doing this morning? Are you enjoying the show? Good times?
It's always informative, right? We inform and we entertain. That's what we do in radio. So we have a major closure. Try to keep traffic a little less graphic, though. South side, 83rd Street is closed between Ellis and Woodlawn. This is a major incident here. A police vehicle hit a hole at a construction site. There are injuries involved, so we'll keep you posted on that. The expressways, fairly routine delays right now. The Edens, Kennedy still fine. Eisenhower inbound still Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue. 35 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Southbound 30, Stevenson 39 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. The Ryan 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964. Join the fun at the Ultimate Sports Dome in Aurora for the inaugural Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale. This 3-day event happens October 27th, 28th, and 29th and showcases products and services for golf equipment and clothing, home improvement, sports, fitness, and nutrition. There really is something for everyone. Ladies can shop for home items, while the men can find golf stuff. And fitness buffs can find everything from nutrition to the latest in fitness equipment. Get an early start on Christmas shopping. You'll find great gifts for everyone. Plus, enjoy fun and games for shoppers to stay active. A long putt contest, closest to the pin, basketball and shooting contest, bouncy houses for the kids, and so much more. It's going to be a great time with great deals. Don't miss the Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. Doors open at 11 a.m. on Friday and 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Only at the Ultimate Sports Dome, 1900 Hill Avenue in Aurora. Admission is only $5 and kids 12 and under free. For all the info, go to sportzonepark.com.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In his remarkable press conference, Trump Chief of Staff General John Kelly prompted reflection on that which was once sacred and should be, but no longer is. Women, the dignity of every life, religion, Gold Star families, selfless service to country, all once sacred, now not so much. General Kelly provided a timely reminder that civilization is not always advancing. The latest point in time is not necessarily the most enlightened. Societies can regress. The nature of man is immutable, thus edifying influences like faith, family, and work, and the responsibilities associated with each are necessary. Notions of duty and honor keep us from devolving into a Hobbesian state of nature. So what is sacred? The politician of all things makes state power sacred. Banning books and blocking speakers to protect feelings makes conceit sacred. In other words, the power to distribute other people's stuff and eliminate dissent has replaced what General Kelly described as sacred and what 4 Green Berets died on a distant battlefield to protect as sacred. If you believe their last full measure of devotion for your freedoms was sacred, then you might consider fighting to preserve them.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
A message from Foremost Capital Management in Geneva, Illinois. Investing in today's market is tough. The individual investor is at a disadvantage. How well are your investments positioned to deal with another meltdown? In 2008, the stock market dropped 21%. The Dow Jones has rallied over 4,000 points since the last U.S. election. Will this continue forever? Are your investments diversified with something uncorrelated to stocks? Foremost Capital Management specializes in managed futures trading. They connect clients with top traders and strategies. Let them show you how. If you're looking for diversification in your investments, contact Foremost Capital Management for a no-obligation consultation. Call Bob Miller at 888-BOB-MILLER. That's 888-262-6455. Again, 888-262-6455. Or visit foremostcm.com. That's foremostcm.com. Futures trading can involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone.
My house looks tired. My kitchen counters are like the ones from that 70s show, and my bathroom is help. I'm ready for change.
As homes age, it makes sense to remodel. It's much more cost-effective than moving. Choosing the right contractor is as important as your kitchen, bath, or addition. I'm Robert Soto, owner of Midland Development Group. Over decades of experience working with homeowners like you, I've excelled at finding the perfect solution for your individual needs. From concept to design, all the way to completion of your project. I also share your values and know you demand the best quality, price, and dependability. I hope you'll give us a chance to prove to you that my word is my bond. We're Home Advisor affiliated and look forward to discussing your project.
Contact Robert Soto of Midland Development Group. Call 312-617-7335 or visit MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Midland Development Group, where price and quality meet. 312-617-7335 or at MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com.
Check of the roads now from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. The Edens Expressway remains delay-free at this hour, and the Kennedy inbound still 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Those things are starting to build up just a bit out of the River Road toll. The outbound side is fine. Got Eisenhower slow from Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue, 36 minutes, Thorndale to downtown Chicago. Outbound 30 You found Stevenson delays Harlem to Kedzie. It's 40 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine at 34. Inbound Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 20 with road work. The 3 left lanes, 83rd to 95th. Should be clearing shortly. I-57, 19 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop 421. Northbound Tri-State stop and go from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Traffic is the service of Staples. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print. I select HP printers at Staples and have ink automatically show up in your mailbox before you need it. Print up to 15 pages per month for free or upgrade to another plan. See staples.com/instaink for details. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Breezy today with partial sunshine. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the afternoon and evening. High 58. Tonight becoming mostly cloudy with a low 40. Remaining mostly cloudy tomorrow. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. High 46. Then a shower in spots late tomorrow night. Low 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
It's 37 degrees currently at O'Hare. In the news, a construction worker is dead after getting stuck in a sewer pipe in Streamwood. Authorities say the victim was trapped last night while installing lining in the sanitary sewer near Park Boulevard in Parkside Circle. Parents of children who have or who have died of Krabbe disease are demanding action from lawmakers on a state-mandated test to detect the fatal disease at birth. At a hearing yesterday, State Health Director Nareef Shah says that test will soon be in place. The House is demanding to know just how many unpaid bills the state really has. Lawmakers overrode Governor Rauner's veto of the so-called Debt Transparency Act to force state governments to report on spending and unpaid bills every month. 2 men accusing a former Evanston High School teacher of sexually abusing them decades ago both filed lawsuits yesterday in Cook County Court claiming that Bruce Seaworth groped or fondled them while they were students. The news is service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape. Mysteries, sci-fi, bestsellers, and motivation. Ride with Audible. Transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. You can start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Go to Audible.com. More of Chicago's Morning Answer coming up after a check of national news from Fox News. You're listening to WIND Chicago, where it's 38 degrees at 6 o'clock.
An FBI informant will inform Congress. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The issue is an old one, a 2010 uranium deal with Russia that President Trump says...
I actually think that's Watergate modern age.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the Justice Department has lifted a gag order on a former FBI informant, which will allow the individual to talk to Congress about Russia's Obama-era deals in the U.S. market. Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis wants to know why Congress was left out of the loop.
What he has, I think, is going to be significant, but then what he can tell us to then go seek is going to be important.
The DOJ says the informant can provide information concerning alleged corruption or bribery involving transactions in the uranium market, including Russian company Rosatom, Uranium One, and the Clinton Foundation. Dave?
Rachel, Hillary Clinton has said the allegations have long been debunked. The House will vote today on that budget framework the Senate approved to tee up tax reform, using a process to avoid a Democrat filibuster, but some House Republicans are not on board.
There is no agreement yet on whether or not to eliminate some popular tax deductions for things like state and local taxes.
We want to see people keep more of their earnings regardless of where they live, including in the high-tax states.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Kevin Brady does not think the dispute endangers a budget resolution vote later today, but New York Republican Peter King says he's a no vote.
On Fox's Jared Halpern, conspiracy theories have swirled around President Kennedy's assassination for decades, and more info could fuel them. By law, thousands of files and documents kept secret have to be released today. Only President Trump could keep some private.
Published reports have said the Central Intelligence Agency is concerned about documents generated in the 1990s that argued against release of older files so as to protect agency operations then underway in post-Soviet Russia or Cuba.
Fox's James Rosen. A fireworks factory on fire in Indonesia. There are at least 47 people reported dead. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sean Hannity explains how Trump is getting business done.
He's not just sitting around doing nothing, and he's literally systematically just striking down one Obama policy after another and chipping away at all the damage that Obama did. And if he can't get Congress, the House and Senate to get along, then all right, well, then he's going to do everything he can do on his own.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT, home, safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, the Russian dossier story and where this goes. Let's understand a little bit of the sequencing here. First, Clinton Inc. lied about not funding the production of the Trump dossier. More than a year. First, they lied about it. Once out, they declared it was no big deal. That happened this week. And now they're spinning with unsubstantiated claims that it was first funded by a GOP interest. Jake Tapper correcting the story, among others, there's no evidence, as I said, unsubstantiated claim. On the first part about how they lied about it, and so why were they lying? Two journalists, New York Times reporters, tweeted that Mark Elias, the Hillary Clinton campaign attorney, who brokered the deal between the Clinton campaign, the DNC, and Fusion GPS to produce the dossier. Folks involved in funding this lied about it and with sanctimony for a year. Maggie Haberman at the New York Times. When I tried to report this story, Clinton campaign lawyer Mark Elias pushed back vigorously, saying, "You or your sources are wrong." Kenneth Vogel, New York Times. So how about that? New York Times reporters, they part of the vast right-wing conspiracy, Mrs. Clinton, and all of the Trump conspiracy theorists. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Piling on Clinton is both appropriate and it's easy. But I think Holman Jenkins has a good point in his piece in the Wall Street Journal where he suggests that the real focus now should be on the FBI. A piece entitled "The FBI's Political Meddling." And the question that is starting to be discussed on the Hill, and it's no longer seen as partisan grandstanding or legitimately seen as partisan grandstanding or even suggesting that this is an attempt to cover up or protect Trump. This is a legitimate question with a lot of surrounding circumstantial evidence that's prompting it. Should Bob Mueller not be fired? Should Bob Mueller, as an officer of the court with an ethical duty to uphold the canons, recuse himself from this investigation as a former head of the FBI? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. This is the case that Holman Jenkins makes out that he suggests needs to be contemplated. He's not drawing a conclusion at this point, but he notes, as Molly Hemingway did, that the FBI was involved in the dossier financing. Again, the FBI had tried to pay for the dossier and had, in fact, reimbursed expenses, for the dossier.
How much do we know how much money they spent?
I don't know.
How much our tax dollars went to the dossier?
here's another factor. The information in the dossier became at least part of the argument the Obama administration made in applications for warrants from FISA court to surveil and decisions to launch an FBI counterintelligence investigation of the Trump campaign more generally. So there's a dot connected and a concern raised, focused on the FBI, as well as the Obama administration. Oh, by the way, why House Intel Chairman Devin Nunes announced the other day that they're opening an investigation into Obama's Department of Justice. Long overdue. There's also the news reports that have suggested for a long time that FBI Chief James Comey's intervention in the Hillary Clinton email matter was prompted by a Russian intelligence document that his colleagues suspected was a Russian plant. And then you have the disclosures last week in The Hill about the Uranium One dealing, which had been reported at the outset of the campaign in Peter Schweizer's book, Clinton Cash. The purchase and consolidation of certain assets were facilitated by Canadian entrepreneurs who gave large sums to the Clinton Foundation and perhaps arranged a Bill Clinton speech in Moscow for $500 grand. A key transaction had to be approved by Hillary Clinton's State Department. Now we learn that before and during these transactions, the FBI had also uncovered a bribery and kickback scheme involving Russia's U.S. nuclear business and also received reports of Russian officials seeking to curry favor through donations to the Clinton Foundation. FBI had uncovered a bribery and kickback scheme. FBI had received reports of Russian officials seeking to curry favor through lining the pockets of the Clinton Foundation.
Why didn't they say something?
Well, it's a good question. The criminal activity not apparently disclosed to agencies vetting the 2010 transfer of U.S. commercial nuclear assets to Russia. The FBI made no move to break up the scheme until long after the transaction closed. And then 5 years later, in 2015, the Justice Department disclosed a plea deal with the Russian perpetrator so quietly that its significance was missed until The Hill reported on the FBI investigation last week. They knew about it. They did nothing at the time. 5 years later, they have a plea deal with, one of the Russian principals here. The real problem here, Jenkins argues, is that the FBI itself is so thoroughly implicated in the Russia meddling story. The agency, when Mueller headed it, soft-pedaled an investigation highly embarrassing to Mrs. Clinton, as well as the Obama-Russia reset policy. More recently, if just one of the two things is true, Russia sponsored the Trump dossier or Russia fake intelligence prompt Mr. Comey's email intervention, then Russian operations via their impact on the FBI influenced and continue to influence our politics in a way far more consequential than any Facebook ad, the preoccupation of John McCain, who apparently cannot behold a mountain if there's a molehill anywhere nearby, writes Jenkins snarkily, but humorously. By any normal evidentiary, probative, or journalistic measure, the big story here is the FBI. Its politicized handling of Russian matters and not competently so. The FBI is next, and it should be next. We should get a look at this. And so when Trey Gowdy gives, talking to Bill Hemmer on Fox News yesterday, gives Jim Comey a vote of confidence, that vote of confidence may be short-lived if you follow the logic of Holman Jenkins' argument, which I do.
Robert Mueller is the right person to head up this independent counsel. But when you consider his background with the FBI and when you consider who worked under him and who you're investigating today.
Bill, I think this is a really difficult political environment that we're in. I'm not sure you could find anyone not named Jesus that everyone would be happy with. I actually am satisfied with Robert Mueller, and if there are questions to ask him about other matters when this probe is over, be happy to do it. But investigations, they should follow facts, and it really shouldn't matter who's leading them. Facts are what direct it. So I know I'm in a small group among Republicans, but I actually have confidence he's going to reach the right conclusions for the right reasons, and that he'll have credibility with the American people when he's done.
Well, so you've got Trey Gowdy, who I think has some standing on this issue. He was probably the best inquisitor of Jim Comey during all of those hearings for those many months last year and into this year. But I'm not sure that absolves Mueller of the scrutiny or an answer to the question as to whether or not he should recuse himself in this case. Again, I don't think the president should fire him. I think if Mueller reads this Holman Jenkins column and kind of does a conflict check, a little bit of critical self-evaluation based on his ethical duties as an attorney, is he conflicted out? That's a question he's going to have to answer. Should answer. Mike in Cicero, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning.
Morning.
Unless I'm the one who doesn't understand the law, my understanding is that the FBI is a law enforcement agency, and for anybody to knowingly supply or be part of supplying false accusations or information to an agency that would mislead them is still a crime. That's my understanding. I'm no attorney, but it would seem that there are a lot of people who have a lot of problems to explain, especially the people who were on in the news the other day explaining that, well, this was just part of an investigation. It's one thing to investigate something. It's another to assert that there's a crime.
Yeah, well, that's right. Okay, thanks for the call, Mike. Jimmy on the Edens.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I think the first question we have that no one's asking and we don't have an answer to until all this stuff pans out, and I do think Rosenstein and Mueller are complicit. Has 20% of our uranium been shipped out of the country? Can we put a hold on it? Now, there's also reports that this yellow cake has crossed over into Canada a while ago and disappeared. So the question is, can we put a hold on everything? How much has actually been taken of this 20%?
Those are very good questions. Thanks for the call, Jimmy. Those are very good questions. Absolutely.
President Trump yesterday talked about Uranium One and how it's the new Watergate for the Clintons.
Well, I think the uranium sale to Russia and the way it was done, so underhanded, with tremendous amounts of money being passed, I actually think that's Watergate modern age.
Do you agree with him?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, we don't know yet. But, we talked about this again. I go back to, let's give Peter Schweitzer some credit here. He was talking about this very early on in the 2016 cycle in his book, Clinton Cash. He reported on this extensively. Brett Baer picked it up, did a special on it, right? A special with Peter Schweitzer about his book, covering a lot of the Clinton Inc. stories and essentially the leveraging of the State Department to finance the Clinton Foundation and their lavish lifestyles. I mean,
Bill Clinton in Moscow getting a speech for getting paid $400,000.
$500.
But it was $500 for one speech. And so it must have been a heck of a speech.
Wouldn't it be interesting to
$500,000
in all these interviews Hillary's doing? I'd love to know what they're commanding on the speaking circuit these days.
You think their value has dropped a little?
Yeah, I know. So why is that? Do they think? I'd love to hear them answer those questions. But so this has been around, and now it's being revisited as the world has turned back around on Clinton Inc. And boy, it's long overdue. And unfortunately, because you had, in my estimation, a politicized actor heading the FBI, not a law enforcement official. Certainly he wasn't at some point anymore. Somebody that was more interested in his own kind of political capital and standing than in pursuing the truth and doing justice. I'm talking about Jim Comey. The FBI is compromised. And, Bob Mueller has a cloud over his head. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Bob Mueller, if he chooses not to recuse himself, will do any better going actually where the facts lead, not preparing his conclusion months in advance of a declaration that the investigation is over, bootstrapping a preordained conclusion. Be very interesting to see if he can do better than his former colleague, Jim Comey. But we're a long way from over with the reporting that's now coming forward and the Clinton Inc. continuing to discredit themselves, turning out to not be nearly as skilled a criminal enterprise as they thought they were.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Today we're going to mostly sunny skies, a little warmer than yesterday, a high of 57 degrees. Mostly cloudy overnight with a low around 43 degrees. And for Friday, yes, it will be here tomorrow. It's going to be mostly cloudy, not as warm. We're going to have a high near 45 degrees and a low tomorrow night or Friday night of 37 degrees. Let's now get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's the one and only Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Mundaline, 60. Town Line, it's blocked off right now. Diamond Lake Road at Maple, there's a malfunctioning rail crossing. South side of Chicago, 83rd is closed. Unellis and Woodlawn, this is for investigation of a crash involving a police vehicle at a construction site, and there are major injuries involved. Eden's inbound, just a little congestion approaching the junction. Fine outbound. Kennedy, 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Up on 22. And on Eisenhower, delays are from Wolf to Harlem. 41 minutes, Thorndale, downtown Chicago. Outbound 32. Northbound I-55 is bottled up. 126 to 53 with a crash in the left lane. And still Harlem to Kedzie. Stevenson is 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 5. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 17. I-57, 22 minutes. I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 421. Northwest Indiana's clear. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I love it. I see a tremendous difference in my skin, in my nails, in my hair, in my energy.
Unlike the people that I hear on the radio, you know, I've had vitamins before, but this is makes a much bigger difference than vitamins ever did. That's for sure.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent, people who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours. And your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place. So it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, proud hiring partner of the Fighting Illini.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, would you support your local village or city banning all tobacco sales? Not raising the age, not increasing the taxes and playing the predatory government game, but straight out banning it. That's what Elk Grove Village Mayor Craig Johnson initially proposed. He actually proposed the same thing a decade ago. It went nowhere.
Oh, that's right.
I remember covering that when I worked at Channel 5.
Ban all tobacco sales in Elk Grove Village was the proposal. Now,
including e-cigarettes and your precious cigars, too.
Yeah, well, that's a bridge too far.
Oh, okay. I can smell it. You smoked a cigar yesterday.
No, I smoked 3 cigars yesterday.
Oh, it's emanating from your clothing.
Thank
or maybe your hair or your skin.
You're welcome.
Keep it on your side of the council, buddy. I need some help. Where's Craig Johnson? I need the mayor of Elk Grove.
Part of the ambiance here.
But, I mean, anytime the government tries to tell people how to live their lives, I don't think it ever ends well. Do you?
Well, obviously the retail merchants, local businesses, convenience stores, gas stations in particular, revolted against the proposal. Now, he's moved off of it because he said he doesn't have the votes on the council for it. Now he's proposing instead to raise the minimum age to purchase tobacco products from 18 to 21. Good idea, bad idea. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Here's one thing I'll say about this, though, as I sort of alluded to. I disagree with the idea of prohibiting tobacco, particularly as a user of tobacco. But I at least respect that Craig Johnson thinks that smoking and tobacco are bad and they shouldn't be, essentially saying they shouldn't be legal products. That's what he's really saying. And
but it's not for him to decide what product is legal or illegal.
Well, no, that's right. But he and the village board can prohibit or restrict products within their jurisdiction.
Right. I mean, he said there's only one product in America, if used as directed, is guaranteed to harm you. So that's what he told the Daily Herald, that's why he's doing this. And every year, he quoted that 600,000 people die, cancer deaths this year, mostly associated with tobacco use.
Yeah. We'll have a conversation about cigars, Craig. But but
don't inhale, Dan.
But he doesn't believe they should be legal. That should be a legal product. Okay, at least he's taking a principled position. I don't agree with it, but he's taking the position this is a harmful product that should be prohibited.
But can't we decide for ourselves, Mr. Johnson?
He's not doing the disingenuous thing, though. He's not doing the predatory government thing where he says, this is terrible, and you have these politicians who use the same statistics and talk about how they're doing everything for the children to justify a tax increase on the product because what they're really interested in is in the revenue, and it necessarily means that people will use the product they're decrying. That scam, that predatory politicians play on their constituents. At least he's not doing that. At least he's taking a principled stand. He thinks it's wrong. He thinks the product should be banned, and you're trying to enlist political support to do it. That's how you do it in a representative republic, as opposed to running a scheme on your constituents like all the other politicians do it who look for easy places to get tax revenue.
No, I know his heart's in the right place, but, you're not going to get people to stop smoking. Even, if you did ban the sale of tobacco in Elk Grove, it's not like they're not going to go to Schaumburg or to parts of DuPage County to get their smokes.
I suspect.
But he's hurting business owners, small business. The guy, there's a smoke shop on Meacham Road. That guy would essentially have to shut down. Smokes Hub Shop. I'm sure you've been there many times.
No,
don't tell Sean from Elmwood Park that you go to
I don't think so.
Smoke Hub Shop.
Yeah, I don't want to tell him I'm cheating on him. Well, his argument about you can go buy it elsewhere is, you can go buy it elsewhere. The point is somebody puts a marker down and you change the conversation, which leads people to change their opinions, which leads sometimes to policy changes. It starts in one place and it can radiate from that place to many other places. That's how local municipal gun bans started in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I think that would be his argument is somebody's going to, I think he said it to the Tribune, somebody has to stand up and do the right thing, and I hope I'm here to see it. I hope it's me, and I hope I'm here to see it. So, again, I disagree with the idea of prohibiting tobacco. Also, the kind of raising the age is that's sort of cheap, and that's sort of kind of virtue signaling. Again, you're old enough to fight for this country. You're old enough to vote. You're old enough to make a decision about purchasing a fine cigar from Elmhurst Cigar Shop.
Oh, we used that one.
I'm trying to get back in good with
Sean. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, they already have, they raised raised age to 21 in Buffalo Grove, Lincolnshire, but the state age is 18. So I mean, I'm sure he might be successful in raising the age limit to buy a pack of cigarettes.
You don't smoke.
No, I don't. But it makes me want to go buy cigarettes because he's telling me he's going to ban them.
You're going to stockpile cigarettes?
I think I might.
Well, you do it.
And I can hand them out to my volleyball players.
Go to the collar counties where you play. This is what I do. I told you my side hustle, right?
We have so many side hustles.
I go to Northwest Indiana. I stock up. I go to the collar counties. I stock up. And then I sell individual cigarettes on the street.
Oh, like
I just
single?
arbitrage the difference. I'm making a killing. And if Craig Johnson and other communities start to prohibit it, you create a black market, the price goes up. So it's all good for me. Jeff in Dundee.
Oh, thank you for taking my call. My buddy Tim Bussey owns property over there on 72, and that Craig Johnson nixed a land deal that San Filippo would have put their whole corporate nut their nut company headquarters there. Craig Johnson says he wants more retail. Like you can ride your bike down to Woodfield. It's crazy. He's nuts.
Okay.
He's crazy.
Well, he wanted a city
thanks for the
center.
call, Jeff.
No, like they want a city center, like where there's a main street, where there's shops and things like that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of every local official's Mayberry vision for their downtown.
Like the Buffalo Grove Golf Course. They wanted to take that and turn it into like a little Mayberry. Yeah. But people that were golfing didn't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they put their foot down. And also, that's when it floods, that's where the water goes. So let's not build a downtown Buffalo Grove there.
All right.
They want to compete with, like Long Grove, all those cutesy towns.
Well, the big thing is in Elk Grove, smoke them if you got them.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, let's ban parents from sporting events.
Oh, that's your idea?
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. And new security protocols at airports start today, take effect. We'll go through them at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Dave Stewart, who is in today and tomorrow, I believe, for Mike Scott.
You are right, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. 37 degrees in Chicago now at 6:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Partly sunny and breezy today. See a high of 58. President Trump says the Obama-era uranium deal is a lot bigger than anyone realizes.
The uranium sale to Russia and the way it was done, so underhanded, with tremendous amounts of money being passed, I actually think that's Watergate modern age.
At the White House yesterday, Trump said the entire Russian investigation is now being turned around. The president's making the federal government a player in the battle against the opioid epidemic. Aides tell USA Today Trump will order his health secretary today to declare the crisis a public health emergency. House tentatively scheduled to vote today on the Senate's budget proposal. The Senate plan is light on details, but would increase the national debt by $1.5 trillion. It's uncertain whether House Republicans have enough votes. Parents of children who have or who have died of Krabbe disease are demanding action from state lawmakers on a mandated test to detect the fatal disease at birth. A law requiring the birthing room test was signed years ago by Governor Blagojevich, but has yet to be implemented. State Health Director Nirav Shah told a hearing that it soon will be.
We expect right now to be online with Krabbe testing by the end of the year. I know that is cold comfort for the families who have joined us here this evening.
At a hearing yesterday, parents testified that the low-price test would have saved their children's lives. In sports, one and done for the Chicago Fire, ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. Bulls host Atlanta tonight. The Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6 in 11 innings, tying the World Series at a game apiece. The news is service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Napa full synthetic motor oil is on sale for just $4.29 a quart. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state and local taxes or recycling fees. AM 560 News Time, 6:32. We'll check the traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
It's fall. Time to gear up and get ready at Cabela's Big Buck Days. Come in and find great deals on all your favorite brands. Shop in store and at Cabela's.com.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover loss or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting two phones for the price of one. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
At 6:34 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Traffic is at a standstill on northbound I-55 from 126 to 53, where a crash has the left lane blocked. Farther north, see delays Harlem to Kedzie and Ashland to the Ryan. Stevenson is heavy at 56 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39. Eden's 23 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 21. Kennedy, now 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. On Eisenhower, delays start around Manheim at 48 minutes. Thorndale to downtown Chicago, outbound 36. The Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 35 minutes, I-80 to the Burridge, Bishop 421. Northbound Tri-State tight from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Eastbound 8094, heavy climb to I-65, and there's a crash at Grant blocking the express lane. Traffic, service of Audible.com. Audible turns traffic into an escape. Mystery, sci-fi, bestsellers, and motivation. Ride with Audible and transform your commute with an unbeatable selection of audiobooks. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Go to Audible.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. For today, partly sunny and breezy with a high of 58. Mostly cloudy tonight, heading down to 40. Tomorrow looks mostly cloudy, breezy, but cooler. Tomorrow's high only 46. Right now, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I was
a really good morning.
Despondent this morning to hear that my 5th and 6th grade girls volleyball team lost yesterday.
Yeah, we lost to Hawthorne in 3 games, and it was well, we were undefeated, and now we're not. Now we're 6-1, and we go into the playoffs with
limping into the playoffs.
Well, here's the thing: is I got to turn this into a motivational moment. I need a mission statement. Yesterday we were off. We played scared. Everybody looked nervous. And then during the second game, I had one girl, I was trying to tell her to get into position. And her mom was yelling at her, like screaming, like her house was on fire, screaming at her for missing. And I said, so after the game, I should have called a timeout right there and said, if I'm talking to your daughter, you're not. Because I can't coach her when you're yelling at her. And then she yelled at her so much that she folded up. She started crying. Her hands were tucked in. She was pretty much in the fetal position. And I kept her, and I should have taken her out. But this is my thing. I want to ban parents from sporting events. We could videotape it, and you guys can watch it from home or maybe, from your car. So we get an app for that so that I don't have to deal with them.
So I just want to follow this. then you would be okay if you were banned from going to Peyton or Eli sporting events.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't gone to their games because I've devoted all my time to this team and to the 7th and 8th grade girls team. I help out. I'm an assistant on that team. Oh, by the way.
Real nice for Peyton and Eli.
We did win that game, the 7th and 8th grade team. Your franchise, your premier team, untouchable.
Yeah.
And guess who?
I'm looking to build a pipeline of talent, though, so I'm not happy about the 5th and 6th grade performance.
Just a bump in the road, boss. I know during my job performance review, I'm going to take part. I'm partially to blame for yesterday's loss.
Just remember, your contract is up.
I didn't motivate them. I didn't get them to believe in themselves. So I need what's my mission statement? What should I tell them today? Because we've practiced for an hour and a half.
Don't suck.
You can't say that to 5th and 6th grade girls.
Why not?
Because you can't.
You got to teach them life is real.
It's
time that they toughen up.
No, and then now because moving forward,
just win, baby.
No,
Al Davis.
Here's the thing:
wear dark shades.
I don't have to play everybody. Like before, everybody had to see playing time for the championship when we start next week. I have to find the best 6 girls, and they might not be that best talented, but I need a group that can play well together, that they've got each other's backs. So should we do the trust exercise? Maybe walk through fire, or have them fall backwards, and we
you have Tony
grab
Robbins.
them.
Tony Robbins come in and do a seminar, right?
Well, listen, and then real quick, because you love the movie Hoosiers, the assistant coach on the team that we played yesterday, he was that guy in the movie Hoosiers. Wait for it.
Didn't know they grew them so small down on the farm.
Ollie was the coach?
Assistant coach on the 7th and 8th grade girls team.
Ollie was?
Ollie, yeah.
Or the guy who said didn't grow them so small on the farm?
The guy who said you didn't grow I didn't know they grew them so...
You don't even know who Ollie is.
Ollie's a kid doing the granny free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the guy that approached Ollie and said, I didn't know they grew him so small down on the farm, he lives in Chicago, and he was the assistant coach on the team last night. Yeah. So I walked by him, I'm like, didn't know they grew losers in Chicago.
But then you were the loser.
Not for that game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So wait. So whatever happened to that guy? It's interesting that from Hoosiers, that one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had established stars like Hopper and Hackman and Barbara Hershey, but like all the kids, all the guys that played that on the teams that were the basketball players, none of them ever went on to do anything.
Well,
whatever happened to Jimmy Chitwood?
Oh, I don't know. Well, he told me, he said he was a basketball player in Lebanon, Indiana, which is a suburb outside of Indianapolis.
This guy.
Yeah. And he said they were basketball players, and they went and recruited them to be in this movie. Like, we need a team to play taller guys, and they had them. They're actual high school basketball players, and they had them in the movie. Did you need to take acting lessons? He's like, no, they just told me what my line would be, and then I walked by him, and they said, "Bitch, be intimidating." And
now he's an assistant coach. He's an assistant girls volleyball coach.
Yeah. Oh my!
I wonder if I could get him on our team. Maybe switch you out.
Oh my gosh! You're already looking for my replacement. I lost one game. Give me a break.
We can you could be like in a Dennis Savard role. You could be like an ambassador for the team, but we're gonna have the guy from Hoosiers coach the team. Because you know what he knows?
What?
I mean, even though he wasn't on Hoosiers. 4 passes.
Oh, yeah.
How many passes before we shoot? 4 passes. How many passes before? Well, you can't do
3.
that in volleyball.
Well, you have to have 3 hits. Right. Bump, set, spike. But yesterday we were just bump, 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 bump. It was not our best showing. But honestly, I really agree with the parents, barring parents from sporting events. Because you can't. I mean, and then the mom, too, I was talking to her after the game. I said, we can't have that happen.
Why don't you just go up into the stands? Pull like a Ricky Byrd song at University of Minnesota and just go up into the stands and sit next to him. Oh, you want to coach the team? Hey, I'll sit here. You go down and coach the team.
Ricky Byrd song did that?
Yeah, remember?
I don't remember that.
I mean, may he rest in peace, but he went a little haywire. I think it was at University of Minnesota.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's done. And those Northwestern teams, I would have been done too.
That is the best. You know what?
What about
I
that? Just go
Ricky Byrd song.
Go up into the stands and sit there and say, hey, big shot.
You think you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
You want to play everybody and still win? Okay, come here.
You need your Hackman moment here where the team rallies around you, where you have your version of Jimmy Chitwood stand up and say, I think it's time I start playing ball again. And one other thing, Coach stays, I play. Coach goes, I go. You need that moment to rally the townspeople of Lakeview
Yes.
for you and for the team.
But here's the thing. We won so many games.
I say we revote. You need that moment.
We won so many games that people became lackadaisical. They rested on their laurels. I had 5 girls not show up for 2 practices in a row. And that's unacceptable. And one, I'm walking up the steps to go into the gym, and she's walking down. And I was like, hey, where are you going, bleep, bleep? We got a great practice. I got some fun drills we're going to do today. And she's like, I don't feel like going.
I'll tell
and
you
I said, excuse me? She's like, no, I'm not going to go today.
Why don't
and I was stopped dead in my tracks, and I'm staring at her like, are you kidding me?
Well, that's where you talk to those parents that are so boisterous during the games. If there's a connection between the underperforming child and the obstreperous parent. And here's the other thing I'd say too. I'd have some muscle there. I just have some muscle there. I mean, I can call some of my friends from Cicero. I just have a couple of guys there.
Hey, can I get Larry Dominic to show up?
You just do the shoulder tap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do we have a problem here? We don't have a problem, do we?
Do we? Yeah, we don't.
I want you to enjoy the game, but as long as we don't have a problem.
And the mom said she's like, I'm sorry, I lost my cool, but I have a personal vendetta against this school. I'm like, I don't care.
Who has a personal vendetta against the 5th and 6th graders? That's a little bizarre. Larry and Bartlett.
Hey, Amy, I can't believe you're not following the Chicago way. What you got to do is leave Blaine, go up to Irving Park, turn left, pick up a bunch of juniors probably from Lakeview. They're probably on the same reading and math level as your 5th graders, and then put a bunch of ringers on your team. You'll win forever.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson West. All right. Mike on the north side.
Yeah, the Lakeview angle ain't going to work because they don't play volleyball there. They just, Chicago Public High School, they're just stealing stuff. They're not.
Stop it.
But I wanted to tell you, Amy, that one loss is going to have big repercussions. They took your caricature down from the piggery. So
Oh,
you're not
no.
on the Hall of Fame anymore.
What's the piggery?
Oh,
it's a restaurant that she frequents with the dog. You should bring the dog as the mascot. But Dan, Ricky Birdsong went into the stands at your alma mater, Northwestern. When he was told about the sex toys, all the players had to bring the class. He freaked out.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I know. Wait, was it at Northwestern? I distinctly remember him high-fiving the Golden Gophers mascot. I can't remember. I thought it was at Minnesota that he went into the stands.
And told the parent, why don't you go down and coach? That's just fantastic.
Well, I don't know if he said that. I'm just kind of surmising. He kind of, had a mental break, which coaching Northwestern basketball is bound to happen. But, yeah, gosh. And I know, by the way, Mike, it did not involve sex toys. Let's not desecrate the memory of Ricky Birdsong. We can desecrate Northwestern, however, all we want.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, a veto session update. What's not to love? You're going to like this forecast. It's going to be sunny today. We all love the sunshine. On a high near 60 degrees, so enjoy it because tomorrow it's going to be mostly cloudy with only a high in the mid-40s. Let's go into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and say good morning to Jim Telemonte. Any coaching advice, Jim?
We'll leave it to Dan. He's the owner. Mundaline. Mundaline, we have a closure of 60 Town Line between Diamond Lake and Maple. There's a malfunctioning rail crossing. South side of Chicago, 83rd Street is closed between Ellis and Woodlawn. This involves after a collision of a police vehicle at a construction site. There are major injuries involved for a couple of Chicago officers. On eastbound 8094, we see delays from Klein Avenue to Grant. The express lane is blocked there due to a crash. Northbound I-55, solid mess, 126 to 53 with a crash in the left lane. Farther north, Stevenson still heavy. It's 56 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 39. Eden's 29 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Kennedy, 43 minutes now from O'Hare to downtown. The Ike, 55-minute drive. Thorndale to the post office. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Keith Peters, in for Lou Dobbs. NAACP blasts American Airlines. European Central Bank holds big meeting today. Interior Department opposes California water project. Those stories next.
Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours. And they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929.
American Airlines is in the crosshairs of the NAACP. It is warning African Americans they could be subjected to discrimination if they fly on the world's largest airline. American says it is disappointed by the NAACP's warning, and it wants to meet with the group's leaders to address their concerns. The European Central Bank is meeting today to map out a gradual exit from its massive monetary stimulus. Central bank leaders feel the program is no longer needed. Economic reports we're following today include the index of pending home sales, ADP's update on jobless claims, and the latest figures on international trade. The Interior Department will not fund a massive water project proposed by California Governor Jerry Brown. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Attention Chicago, don't miss the one-day-only Land at the Lake sale on Saturday, November 11th, where you can get 5 acres with lake access for only $24,900. This spectacular lakeside community was purchased out of foreclosure, and all home sites will be sold off at a fraction of their original price. Take advantage of huge savings during the one-day sale and get 5 acres with lake access, only $24,900, or 5 acres and a new log cabin for only $79,900. Enjoy beach and marina access to a 160,000-acre recreational lake, all just an easy drive from Nashville, Tennessee. For earliest appointment, call 888-GET-LAND or visit the website 888-GetLand.com. Excellent financing is available, so call or visit 888-GET-LAND or 888-GetLand.com. Cabin is 1,200 square feet to be built right in, weather tight, Lakeview Realty Broker.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I sing your praises all the time because I was very run down. I was getting bronchitis all the time. And ever since I started taking this, at the first sign of a sniffle, by the next day, it's gone.
Love it. Great product. Yeah, I should have taken it years ago. It works. You know, your skin is better, your blood pressure is down, and stuff like that.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's promo code WIND.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so the General Assembly is still in session, veto session, and It's important because anytime you have that many politicians in one place, your freedom and finances are in jeopardy. So just updating, we talked about the story that's making national news for its stupidity, legislation that would criminalize passing right-to-work zone legislation at the local level. It would subject officials who do that, as they did in Lincolnshire, to criminal penalties, Class A misdemeanor.
I mean, you talk about thuggish behavior. That is thuggery at its finest.
It's also unconstitutional, would never stand, but the fact that it's still being moved and it was the governor's veto was overridden in the Senate tells you something about the composition of the General Assembly and who's in charge. In the House yesterday, just updating that story, it did get 70 votes, but that's not enough to override the governor's veto, so it failed in the House for now. Now the sponsor, speaking of
who sponsored
speaking
this
of political hacks, Marty Moylan, who's Democrat from Des Plaines and Park Ridge.
Marty Moylan.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice job, Des Plaines and Park Ridge. Good work. He said he's going to reintroduce it. He can reintroduce it next week and try to run the override again, and he's going to strip out the criminal penalties. So maybe he'll get enough Republican defectors to support that when he strips out the criminal penalties. Also this, of the important work that your legislators are doing. Laura Fine from the Tony North Shore. Laura Fine, who's running to fill the seat being vacated by Dan Biss in the state Senate, who's running for governor up there in the North Shore, Wilmette.
How's Dan Biss doing?
Evanston, or all the smart
Is he
people
married with kids?
I believe he is. Laura Fine now. This is an enlightened denizen of the North Shore, the home of low information Champagne socialists. She's introduced a resolution in the House. Just want you to, the important work that she's doing. The resolution in as it pertains to the worst governed state in the country, largest unfunded pension liabilities, highest property taxes, highest combined state local tax burden, $16.5 billion in unpaid bills. I could go on. I think you know the gist of it. What's her resolution? It's about the federal government. It doesn't have anything to do with state government. She has sponsored a resolution that would direct President Trump. She's a state legislator now.
Okay.
Direct President Trump to move $4 billion from human and environmental spending at home and abroad to human and environmental spending at home from military spending. In other words, she wants him to take $4 billion out of the defense budget and put it into environmental spending.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's just a waste of ink.
Right.
On a piece of paper.
Polling has found the U.S. public favors a $41 billion reduction in military spending. It's very specific what the public wants. Specifically, $41 billion reduction, do they? She also, advances the canards about the percentage of military spending. That military spending is a percentage of total federal spending. But the important thing to note is that as a state representative, she's calling on President Trump. She's a Champagne socialist Democrat, calling on President Trump and encouraging him to move $4 billion from defense to environmental. That's what they're doing in Springfield. Nice job, North Shore. How you liking your 40 years of Chicago Democrat rule of the House? Everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Enough of a probationary period? How you doing in the suburbs with Laura Fine and Marty Moylan?
Marty Moylan?
Michelle Mussman. A lot of M's.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of messes.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
What if hiring could be easier, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, their smart technology notifies the most qualified candidates to apply. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
You've put off that new vehicle long enough. Now there's absolutely no excuse.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford during their model year-end sales event. They're making room for next year's models, and that means you'll save big.
You'll get the best rebate offers of the year and save hundreds to thousands on brand new 2017 Fords.
Plus, all new vehicles come with the Joe Cotton Ford Advantage program. You'll save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more.
There's a reason generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to family-owned and operated Joe Cotton Ford. It's all about a different car buying experience with world-class customer service and people you can trust.
No hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics now and for as long as you own your vehicle.
There's still a great selection during the Ford model year-end sales event, but hurry, it won't last.
Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
Game time is now. From kids sports to pro ball. When family and friends gather to watch their favorite sports, you need Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill on your team. Augie's is ready to cater your tailgate and game day parties with signature subs, loaded with the highest quality meats, cheeses, and fresh veggies. Plus, mouth-watering classics like Italian beef made from their own family recipe. Stop in or have your team take out bubbling hot pizza, hand-rolled meatball sandwiches, burgers, and fresh hot seasonal paninis. Can't choose? Get them all. Augustino's knows what your busy family needs this fall. You need good food that's fast, fresh, and affordable. They've got children's meals and even gluten-free options, which is why Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill is DuPage County's family favorite destination since 1978. Get your game day party started with Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill, Carroll Stream or West Chicago. Check out their menu along with catering menus at augustinos.com. And remember, at Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill, game day is the day they train for.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, rock steady.
Steady. You know who sings this? Who sings it? Who sings it? Come
Me
on.
right now.
No. You're not the original. Who? Come on.
No.
The Whispers.
The Whispers? Great. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
More rock steady. More rock steady. We'll do a little bit of that. We'll rock steady with Robert Mark from Jetwine about the new travel protocols at airports at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Dave Stewart in for Mike Scott.
Among the stories we are watching today, a construction worker has died in a sewer pipe in Streamwood.
Republicans hope to take another step toward tax reform. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have actually in the Republican Party, in a true sense, we have great unity.
But that could be tested today in the House. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, it's not clear if Republicans have the votes, but if the House approves the Senate-passed budget plan, lawmakers would have the green light to work on tax reform. The president has been twisting arms.
I did make a couple of calls. I said, fellas, please, no changes. Just pass it along.
Even if the budget passes, a tax reform effort could be in for a bumpy ride, as some fiscal conservatives expressed concerns about adding to the deficit. Dave?
Now, Rachel, Congress will get some answers on a 2010 deal approved by the Obama administration that gave a Russian agency control of 20% of U.S. uranium. A gag order has been lifted on an FBI informant willing to testify.
He might know something about the involvement in the Uranium One of money laundering, fraudulent activity, and bribery. And we ought to know about that.
Republican Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley. Hillary Clinton has said allegations of wrongdoing have been debunked. Long sought by conspiracy theorists and scholars, thousands of documents and files from President Kennedy's assassination have to be released today by law. Only the president could hold some back.
Researchers hope to learn more about the visit paid to Mexico City in September 1963 by Lee Harvey Oswald, the man whom history records as John F. Kennedy's sole assassin. Researchers also want to know more about George Joannides, an undercover CIA officer who on the day of the assassination leaked material to the news media tying Lee Harvey Harvey Oswald to Cuban groups.
Fox's James Rosen. President Trump wins in court. A federal judge upholds his order to stop giving subsidies to insurance companies under Obamacare. If you have an Obamacare plan, expect a double-digit premium increase next year. Cavalier Health says the most popular silver plans will cost 34% more. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 38 degrees in Chicago. It's 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, WIND Chicago. Partly sunny and breezy today with the high of 58. A construction worker has died after getting stuck in a sewer pipe in northwest suburban Streamwood. Authorities say the victim got trapped last night while installing lining in the sanitary sewer near Park Boulevard and Parkside Circle. In other news, parents of children who have or have died of Krabbe disease are demanding action from state lawmakers on a state-mandated test to detect the fatal disease at birth. The hearing yesterday had parents like Scott Hammonds testifying.
I ain't used to begging, but if I have to, I will. So please, get it up, get it rolling, save some kids.
That's a law testifying the birthing room test was signed years ago by Rod Blagojevich when he was governor, but is yet to be implemented. But State Health Director Nareev Shah says that law will soon be in place. House is demanding to know just how many unpaid bills the state really has. Lawmakers unanimously overrode Governor Rauner's veto of the so-called Debt Transparency Act. It would force state government to report on spending and unpaid bills every month as opposed to just once a year. Graduate students at the University of Illinois are considering a strike. The school's graduate employee union will vote tonight on whether to authorize a strike over pay issues. In sports, it's one and done for the Chicago Fire, ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. The Bulls host the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA tonight. Baseball, the Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6 in 11 innings to tie the World Series at a game apiece. The news is service of Napa Auto Parts. For more than 90 years, Napa Auto Parts has provided the quality parts and expertise to help you keep almost anything on the road. And now with Napa Rewards, you can save money on all the parts you need to keep your car running. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. AM 560 News Time, 7:04. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you, whether you're at home, your business, or online. We help keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT, home, safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
At 7:06 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. In Downers Grove, Butterfield is closed west of 355 between Lloyd and Briarcliff due to a crash. Mundelein, 60 remains closed. Diamond Lake and Maple, a problem with the rail crossing. Chicago's South Side 83rd is blocked off. In Ellison Woodlawn, after a major collision involving a police vehicle at a construction site. Eden's inbound 26 minutes from Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. Kennedy, 43 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 17 from Montrose, 15 in the Express. Outbound 40 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour, Thorndale to the post office, 44 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 44 to Thorndale. Northbound I-55 heavy, 126 to 53 after a crash. Then it's 56 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound heavy Chicago Road to the Lincoln Oasis. And a truck with a brake fire on the right shoulder. Northbound delays 115th to 87th. 75th to the Hinsdale Oasis, except from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial, it's heavy. Army Trail to Lake. And 8094 has eastbound delays. Indianapolis Boulevard to Grant. With a crash blocking the express lane. Heavy westbound as well, starting at I-65. Traffic answers when you need them most on Chip Telemonte. AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Frost advisory in effect for this morning. Partly sunny and breezy today, high 58. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 40. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, high 46. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Lakefront now 42 degrees, but 38 at Midway and O'Hare. Next traffic at next news update at 7:30. Look for continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, it's been a tough last week or so for the airlines. First, United, that guy who whipped it out and urinated on his seatmate. That's bad press.
Are you talking about Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Oh, somebody else.
No, it was just a guy who was drunk.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah. So that's...
and then you had Dr. Dow.
That's a mess for United.
And those 2 police officers were fired, by the way.
And then yesterday, the NAACP issuing a travel advisory. Huh?
A travel advisory. Listen to that.
Warning African Americans to be careful when they fly with American Airlines. A pattern of disturbing incidents reported by African American passengers specific to American Airlines, claims the NAACP. 4 examples of black passengers who said they were forced to give up their seats or were removed from flights. And according to the NAACP, those 4 examples suggest a, quote, corporate culture of racial insensitivity and possible racial bias.
Yeah, the travelers could be subject to disrespectful, discriminatory, or unsafe conditions. The airline, though, American, came out yesterday and said they do not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
Yeah. And then there's new security rules that take effect today. Stricter passenger screening on all U.S.-bound flights to comply with government strictures designed to avoid an in-cabin ban on laptops, the airline said, including doing more of what the Israelis do, interviewing, sizing people up if there's cause for concern. For more on all of the above, particularly this systemic problem of passengers urinating on one another, we're pleased to be joined by Robert Mark, founder and publisher of JetWine.com. Robert, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Wow, interesting segue.
Thank you. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Oh, my Lord.
The NAACP travel advisory, 4 instances, makes a corporate culture. It seems like it would be bad business for American Airlines as part of their customary daily business to be discriminating against any group of people or treating them badly as a part of their corporate strategy.
Well, I think discrimination is boy, you couldn't give me an easy one like the Air Canada guy's not listening to the tower in San Francisco, right?
Okay.
I mean, this is a tough one because let's be honest. What is discrimination to one person or one group of individuals may not appear that way to somebody else. But as you started to say at the top there, the airlines aren't real nice. They're not really nice to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So
I like them.
This is going to be a tough one to figure out.
Well, here's the deal, though. What's the protocol if you need to bump a passenger because a pilot or a flight attendant has to get on that plane?
Well, I mean, there are situations like that occur. The airlines try to keep that to an absolute minimum. But again, they don't really care whether what color or what size or whatever you are, they say, look, you know what, I'm sorry, the seat's got to go because this person has to get to work, and then most likely that passenger will never fly that airline again, except that really is the old days because you don't have that many choices anymore.
Yeah, four instances, huh? And one of the most outspoken complainants is a woman named Tamika Mallory, who happens to be a self-identified civil rights activist and the co-chair of the Women's March.
Okay, what's her tale of woe?
So the pilot on the aircraft, a white man, pulled her aside and said, respect is a two-way street, after she was apparently into a heated exchange with a gate attendant. She took that as fighting words and said, that was racially insensitive because he's a white man and she's a black woman.
I've been in situations where I've seen that happen, that a gate agent, and let's face it, the gate agents are usually the first line of grief with passengers. I mean, if a passenger has a problem, it's the gate agent that gets all the hit. And there have been times where another employee, and maybe in this case it was a pilot, just jumped in and said, "Hey, whoa, slow down." I mean, just to make sure that it doesn't turn into a fight. But again, the one thing we're missing here, it's a bit like an accident. We're missing context. I mean, we're hearing selected bits and pieces that were released to the media, and then we're supposed to try to fill in the rest.
Exactly.
But the captain,
I just don't think there's enough there.
But the bottom line is the captain can decide whether or not a passenger can be on the plane. I mean, he has the overall authority on that, right?
Absolutely. And honestly, if a person were abused, I mean, again, it's not just a matter of saying, "Oh, listen, that's not fair that I didn't get to have my seat," or that you want to move me. There's a way of saying that you can still get the job done. But when somebody gets really, really angry and abusive, the captain or the first officer is always going to be worried that that's going to happen in the cabin these days. And the last thing you want is that kind of an altercation at 35,000 feet.
Yeah, no, I saw anger management. I get it. Let me switch gears and talk.
Thank goodness.
Yes, to talk to you about the new security measures, including stricter passenger screening that take effect today in all U.S.-bound flights. Describe those and what new protocols the airlines and airports are instituting.
Well, no, I have to admit, I haven't heard that much about it. I only heard the preliminary side of this, and of course, it's designed to not have to get people to put their small devices, their laptops, their iPads in checked baggage.
Right.
And because of course there is this worry that the bad guys have figured out how to put explosives inside those devices. But now the problem is that if you have one of those devices, and most of them these days have NiCad batteries or lithium-ion batteries in them, the pilots don't like that because there have been fires with lithium-ion batteries. And it's not just the fact that there could be a fire in the cargo holds, and you say, well, gee, don't they have fire extinguishers? They do, but the current fire extinguishers on most airliners will not extinguish a lithium-ion battery fire. And that's the real problem with the operational side versus the regulatory side of this whole, how do we protect the people in the airplane?
Yeah, well, it's affecting, there's 2,100 flights from around the world that enter the U.S. on any given day, but the new security screenings is that they're going to be able to question flyers about their trip and their luggage. Do you think that that's going to be effective?
Well, I honestly, I thought for a long time that the Israelis had it right. I mean, I can remember traveling through that part of the world 25 or 30 years ago, and they were tougher on people than I'd ever seen in my life. and they're not quite as worried about offending people to get the job done as we are. If we head that way so we can actually get the job done, as opposed to a lot of the kind of theater that we do at the airports these days, maybe it'll have some benefit. But I haven't seen how it's going to shake out yet. I mean, I haven't experienced it.
Are there other security protocols that you think should be under consideration or even implemented that are neither at this moment?
How about common sense?
Okay, all right.
People forgot about common sense.
Let me write that down. Common sense. Got it.
It's kind of. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it. Although every time I travel on the airlines, it just becomes more ridiculous. I mean, if your goal is to stop bad guys from carrying weapons of some form onto an airplane, then I don't see how you cannot take advantage of looking at certain kinds of people, and I don't mean the color of their skin. I'm saying their behavior.
Yeah.
That's what most of the shrinks in the world would tell you is going to give you a better clue than simply hitting everybody. Well, look at the situation. I'm a TSA pre-screen person, pre-check person. And so we had to go through a background check. We had to do fingerprints. And, of course, that lets us get to, a little further ahead in the security line. But the bags that I check, that I give to the airline, they still open them up and check them because they still don't trust us. God knows how many resources they waste on people that have already been checked, and still people that managed to get through.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of security theater. He's Robert Mark, founder and publisher of JetWine.com, JetWine, WHINE.com. Robert, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Nice talking to you guys.
Good talking to you. And just quickly, text from the Amish texter. He has an idea on that NAACP problem. Should require all American Airlines employees to undergo sensitivity training taught by Barbara Billingsley. Stewardess, I speak.
And Robert Mark joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, a Chicago priest is the one who blessed that floor, Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas after the massacre. But first, here's your forecast today. It's going to be mostly sunny, a high near 60 degrees. Enjoy it because tomorrow, Friday, it's going to be cloudy and a little bit cooler, a high only in the mid-40s. Let's go into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and bless the one and only Jim Telemonte.
Well, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dan. Good morning. Southside 83rd closed between Ellis and Woodlawn after a major incident involving a police vehicle hitting a hole in a construction site. Mundelein 60, Town Line blocked between Diamond Lake and Maple. Problems with the rail crossing. Eden's 26 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 57 minutes now from O'Hare to downtown, outbound 48. The Eisenhower's an hour from Thornhill to downtown, outbound 44 minutes. Stevenson an hour, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. The delays start at Lockport Road after a crash at 53. Outbound Stevenson now 53 minutes to the Veterans Memorial. Ryan 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 28 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford 31. Northbound Tri-State jammed. Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. 80-94 has delays eastbound Indianapolis Boulevard to Grant. And a crash at Grant blocking the express lane. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent. People who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours, and your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place, so it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, proud hiring partner of the Fighting Illini.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I started out vomiting with migraines at the age of 19, and about 10 years later, it got to the point where it was almost every day. This stuck with me for about another 20 years. When I was introduced to this balance of nature, I couldn't believe how quickly the triggers that would cause these migraines just went away.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
What if hiring could be easier, less time-consuming, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, so you don't spend time wondering where the right candidates are searching. Then ZipRecruiter uses its smart matching technology to scan millions of active resumes and notify the most qualified candidates to apply for your job. And the ZipRecruiter dashboard makes it easy to review, rate, and contact candidates, all in one place. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter makes it simple for growing businesses of all sizes to hire the right people, no matter the industry. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you the results you need. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/expand. That's ZipRecruiter.com/expand. ZipRecruiter.com/expand.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with a 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
There's nothing like it. The smell of a tailgate, the chill in the air, the roar of the crowd. The only thing better than game day with your favorite team is when it all ends with a win. Touchdown NIU! Hear it all right here on the Husky Sports Network.
The NIU Huskies take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles tonight at 6. Hear every hit, celebrate every victory, right here on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Dan's placing his food orders right now.
Need to get some of that Italian beef from yesterday's meeting.
Yeah, way to show up, all you guys, everybody. Oh, no, none of you were there. I went on behalf of all of you for our quarterly meeting.
You're the duly elected representative.
Mm-hmm.
Campus Beat, updating the schools that Peyton and Eli will not be allowed to attend. Sorry, Not going to Champaign.
Not U of I?
U of I's out.
Why?
U of I math professor Rochelle Gutierrez believes that algebra and geometry perpetuate white privilege. Why, do you ask? Thank you so much for asking.
Why, Dan?
Because Greek terms give Caucasians unearned credit for the subject. Teachers must be aware of the identity politics surrounding math on many levels, says Professor Gutierrez.
Oh, my God.
Mathematics itself operates as whiteness.
Oh, seriously?
This is what she's saying. Who gets credit for doing and developing mathematics, who is capable of mathematics, and who is seen as part of the mathematical community is generally viewed as white. She argues that subjects like algebra and geometry perpetuate racism and white privilege. That, quote, curricula emphasizing terms like Pythagorean theorem and pi perpetuate a perception that mathematics was largely developed by Greeks and other Europeans. Yeah, well, there's a reason they call it the Pythagorean theorem because, it was that Greek Pythagoras.
Right.
Who came up with it. The reason they call it Euclidean geometry is because that Greek Euclid contribution. I wouldn't want to brandish my degree in mathematics from U of I if I was anybody who has such a thing. Or maybe you might want to suggest that Rochelle Gutierrez go become a community organizer rather than pretending to be an academic.
There's always that other U of I, the real one, University of Iowa.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to go to an accredited school, you can go to University of Iowa and get a certificate of participation.
It's a great school, and they didn't, fold when that one teaching assistant thought that Herky the Hawkeye was racist.
Oh, as opposed to the way the Illini folded over Illini
right.
Wick.
But Herky's like a chicken cluck. I mean, there is no Herky can't be. It's Herky. It's just a made up bird. It's a bird.
Maybe he should change his name to Pythagoras the Hawkeye. Women's studies professor at UC Davis has a decided opinion on science.
Yes.
It's time to.
I guess it's racist.
Well, no, it's
sexist.
Misogynist. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
misogynist.
Yeah. It's time to replace traditional science with, quote, a much-needed anti-science, anti-racist feminist approach to knowledge production. This is part of her 6,600-word treatise that makes no sense. Anti-science science. It's time, finally, for science to be less science-y. Gosh darn it. Andrew in Burns Harbor.
Yeah, hi. I hear you. This talk about this Pythagorean theorem and what this guy says about it. I wish they would just be honest and say they hate white people. I mean, because this just seems like a roundabout way of saying it.
Yeah, you're true. They could cut to the chase. Thanks for the call, Andrew.
Yeah.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Can we count on Corker and Flake on tax cuts? We'll ask Steve Moore at 7:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say hello once again to Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. It's 38 degrees in Chicago, 7:30 now on AM 560. The Answer. Partly sunny and breezy today. We'll see a high of 58. Thousands of secret documents about the assassination of John F. Kennedy will be made public today. Gerald Posner, the author of Case Closed, Lee Harvey Oswald and the Assassination of JFK, he says they might reveal that the CIA was aware that Lee Harvey Oswald was a threat to the president.
The real story, maybe, is that the CIA knew only 7 weeks before the assassination that Oswald may have threatened the president. He returned to America in early October, and they did what the CIA always does. They told no one.
The National Archives will finally release the government files reportedly from the 60s and 70s. The House tentatively scheduled to vote today on the Senate budget proposal. The Senate plan light on details, but it would increase the national debt by $1.5 trillion. President Trump is going to declare opioid abuse as a national crisis, but will not declare it an emergency. He's expected to talk about his plans for tackling the epidemic later today. One construction worker has died after getting stuck in a sewer pipe in northwest suburban Streamwood. Fire Chief Chris Clark says crews had a difficult time rescuing the victim who got trapped last night installing lining in a sanitary sewer near Park Boulevard and Parkside Circle.
That liner material was bunched up at the bottom of the manhole, so the firefighters were not able to get down the pipe to access him without cutting a lot of the lining out.
Authorities say the man was underground for about 4 hours. He died at the scene. The massage therapist accused of sexually assaulting a woman earlier this year at a massage parlor in the city's Loop, Anthony Winters, has bail set at $10,000. And a Chicago-based priest providing support to those affected by the mass shooting in Las Vegas. The Sun-Times reports Reverend Cleet Kelly of the Hotel Workers Union blessed the hotel room and the floor where a sniper fired at a crowd. In sports, the Chicago Fire have been ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls. A one-and-done game, 4-0. The Bulls host Atlanta tonight. In baseball, the Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6 in 11 innings, tying the World Series at 1 game apiece. News, a service of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration.
I'm Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions, urging you to stand up against our nation's drug epidemic during the DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day this Saturday. Making a difference is as easy as cleaning out your medicine cabinet.
Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com.
AM 560 News Time 7:33. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Build the wall. Build it. Build the wall. That wall on our southern border, get it done. Get it built. Build it now, doggone it. If you think I'm going to say anything else, you are profoundly mistaken. Build the wall. I want a wall on our southern border. I want to keep people out. Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Build it.
Don't let the flu turn you into a zombie with a fever this Halloween season. With the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, you won't be tricked by any spooky symptoms.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At 7:34 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. 8094 eastbound, it's heavy. Indianapolis Boulevard to Grant, where a crash blocks the express lane, and also the left lane westbound is blocked. Heavy delays starting around I-65. Eden's inbound from Lake Cook to Montrose, it's 25 minutes, outbound 28. Kennedy, 57 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 48 minutes. Eisenhower's now an hour and 7 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 48 minutes. Stevenson from 355 to the Drive, it's an hour, outbound 53 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Tri-State Tollway southbound slow from 21 to Atkinson. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Veterans Memorial, heavy delays from the Des Plaines River Bridge up to the Reagan Tollway, and from Army Trail to 290. Traffic is a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil is on sale for just $4.29 a quart. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state and local taxes or recycling fees. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Partly sunny and breezy today with a high of 58. Tonight looks mostly cloudy with a low of 40, and tomorrow mostly cloudy again with cooler temperatures, a high of only 46. Right now it's at 38 at O'Hare, but 42 at the lakefront. Next news, 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's fall. Time to gear up and get ready at Cabela's Big Buck Days. Come in and find great deals on all your favorite brands. Shop in store and at Cabela's.com.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy comes your way now. And make sure to join me, Larry Elder, tonight at 7, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Trump did a sit-down with Lou Dobbs yesterday. And
you mean the biggest suck-up interview I've ever seen in 10 years?
It was friendly.
Oh, he's real friendly. You're the best. You know you're the best. No, you're the best.
And I've got to ask you, I mean, you're one of the most, I would say, by the left particularly, reviled, even hated men to ever hold your post.
I would say so.
You're also one of the most loved and respected.
I would say that also.
In history. And how does that feel? Where is Donald Trump today as you are just now beginning your presidency?
So the one thing that I really thought, because I thought I was treated very unfairly by the press during the campaign. And when I won, I said, the good news is now they'll start treating me well. But they got much worse. Right. Lou, they put on stories on CNN and on NBC and CBS and ABC, and NBC being an offshoot also with the MSNBC, which is ridiculous. They put on stories that are so false. They have so-called sources that, in my opinion, don't exist. You know, they'll say sources have said. They're sitting down. They make it up. It is so dishonest. It is so fake. And, you know, I have come up with some pretty good names for people. I think one of the best names is, you know, I've really started this whole fake news thing. Now, they've turned it around, and then now they're calling, you know, stories put out by Facebook fake, and they're fake. What could be more fake than CBS and NBC and ABC and CNN?
All right. Well, why don't we put that question, I thought it was rhetorical in nature, to our friend Steve Moore, Heritage Foundation economist, CNN, senior economist, CNN just mentioned there by the president. Steve Moore, what do you think of your employer being mentioned by the president?
Hi, guys. Good morning. By the way, I know a lot what it's like to be reviled.
Yes.
My ex-wife, everybody who watches CNN. Look, I think there's a lot of truth to this. I mean, he's an extremely polarizing president. People, you know, I walk down the street when I'm in towns, all people come up and hug me up. Trump is doing awesome, you know, like that. But then, you know, there are people who just truly think, you know, that there's a real serious campaign by the left to try to get Trump impeached because he's mentally unstable.
Well, I mean, and this week...
I would make the case, by the way, that the people who think that Trump should be replaced for being mentally unstable are mentally unstable.
Right. And this week that effort was joined by two Republican senators, Bob Corker and Jeff Flake, both lame ducks. We all know what they said, and it's been discussed, and they're entitled to their views. Where do you think they come down, though, on the all-important and thinly margined Senate caucus when it comes to moving tax reform to the president's desk?
Well, by the way, let me say one thing loud and clear to your audience, because this is the topic du jour, the topic of the week. So I want everybody to relax. We're not going to take your 401k plan away from you. Okay.
Sure. That was next, yes.
That's all the left has been talking about the last year. Donald Trump is going to take away your 401k plan. He's going to take 90%. There was some talk about maybe trimming it back a little, about how much money you could put into the accounts. Maybe, but I very much doubt that. But I guarantee you 90% of your 401ks are not going to be taken away from you. Look, if 55 million people have these accounts, obviously they're pretty popular with people. So your question was about these senators. I count, let's say, 3 senators who hate Trump's guns, right, who are Republicans. John McCain, Bob Corker, and Jeff Flake. And, you know, that's bad news because guess what? He needs one of those 3 if we're going to get tax reform passed, right, because none of the Democrats are going to provide the 50 votes that he's going to need. So, you know, he's got to repair relationships with them because he needs them, if for no other reason. They're still going to be around for another year or so. And now the good news is they all voted for the budget that enabled the tax cut last week. So I think they're going to be on board, but it doesn't make it easy when these senators, talk about reviling Trump. I think those 3 do. And I think the reason that Trump lost the health care vote was personal animosity between John McCain and Trump.
Well, why can't they all kiss and make up? And can you make that happen? Have a big kumbaya moment? Because, I mean, really, You don't want them to block his political agenda.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could get them out on the golf course.
Well,
that's always. Yeah, I know that whenever he has problems with Rand Paul, he takes them out to play golf, and they do kiss and make up. Look, I think that part of I am a big fan of Donald Trump. Work for him. I think what he's doing on the economy is magnificent, but he has an incredible character defect that. Number one, he refuses to admit when he's wrong. And number two, sometimes he's incapable of kissing and making up. I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's a New York thing or what, but, if somebody slugs at him, he slugs back. He just, it's impossible for him to, even, that made up story about, how he was with the woman whose husband died, in Nigeria.
Yeah, Sergeant Johnson. Yeah, right.
I mean, and look, I thought, my only point is you don't get in a fight with someone like that, right? I mean, you just say, I'm sorry if you misinterpreted what I said. I'm so sorry for your losses. That, but sometimes Trump is just incapable of that, and it is a turnoff for a lot of people. I know a lot of people say, I like Trump's policies, I like a lot of things he's doing, but his personality is just so grating on me, and if he wants to get reelected, he better work on that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Now, with respect to what will be included in the final form coming out of the House of the tax reform plan, this is obviously important to a high-tax state like Illinois at the state and local level. The state and local tax deductions, you think they're going to be in or out?
I think it's going to be in, and I think it'll affect, what I've been advising them is just to affect people who make over, say, $500,000 a year. So no middle-class person will be affected. But look, it is important. There's people who live in the state of Illinois. I used to live in the state of Illinois. Illinois is now one of the top 2 or 3 tax states in the country. So you would be affected by this. But I see it as a 2-for-1. If we get this tax cut done and we eliminate the state and local tax deduction, number one, you get a federal tax cut. And number two, it is going to force Springfield to start cutting your taxes, because if you continue cutting the bonds, that's the laugh of the day, right? No, okay, but look, if they don't cut taxes in Illinois and we get rid of the state and local deduction, then there's only one thing left for people to do, and that's, for those who are still there, to move out of Illinois. Because right now, the only reason that Springfield can even somehow get away with these massive tax increases all the time is 40% of it is paid for people in other states, because you get to write off of 40% of it. So, yeah, I want to get rid of the state and local tax deduction. It's my least favorite provision in the tax code. I think it's unfair for people who live in low tax state taxes like me to pay more taxes to pay for people in high tax states like you guys in Illinois.
Where's Amazon HQ2 going to go?
Just going to ask that.
Where's Amazon HQ2 going to go? Dallas, Atlanta, where's it going to go?
Chicago?
We want a prognostication from
Chicago, baby, right next to Wrigley Field.
Yeah,
no, actually, there's Michael Reese Hospital. That place it's empty, and that's on Lake Michigan. I mean, it would be an absolute gorgeous place.
Yeah.
But the business economy, or the environment here is not good.
Yes, this just.
Yeah, but Chicago's, look, I've said this so many times. Chicago's a world-class city. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. I think at top 10, and it has so much going for it, other than the taxes and the fact that you've got too much crime. I mean, other than those two things, I mean, can you imagine if you put someone in charge of the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago who moved, away from the high taxes, got serious about improving the schools and getting crime off the street? I mean, Chicago would be like Hong Kong, for goodness sake. So all of your wounds are self-inflicted.
Absolutely.
That's what's so frustrating.
Absolutely. There's an interesting study by Thumbtack, business friendliness study. Thumbtack's a San Francisco-based company that specializes in matching local customers with professionals. They surveyed 13,000 small business owners who work as electricians, music teachers, wedding planners, wellness professionals across the spectrum. And they graded states by a number of metrics: ease of starting a business, regulations, tax code, licensing. For Illinois, licensing, F, tax code, F, environmental factors, F, regulations, F, ease of starting a business, C-.
Oh.
Overall business friendliness, F. So that's where you're hearing from the small business owner entrepreneur. So it's not just the big companies and trying to land like the Amazon HQ too. It's those startups.
Well, let me give you an example of what you're talking about. This is one of the things I just thought was so crazy. So my brother, who still lives in the Chicago area, many years ago started a moving company, to move people from their apartments and so on. What's easier than starting a moving company, right? Did you know in Chicago, you have to get a license to do that?
Right.
And what happens is you have to go to I think it was the Chicago Commerce Commission or something like that. And you have to prove to these people on the commission that there is a demand for your service. So what happens is all the other moving companies, the big ones, say, no, we've already got that covered. we don't need that company here. It's like McDonald's saying, no, we don't need that Burger King. We got the hamburgers.
We're good.
And Steve, I don't know if you know, but it's now a crime in Chicago if you refuse to join a union. It's a misdemeanor.
Well, it's not. No. Not yet.
I saw up to 1 year, and it's potentially 1 year in prison. I mean, it's practically higher crime than rape.
Yeah, they failed to override the governor's veto of that in the House yesterday, so it's not Illinois law. But the fact that it came as close as it did, and they're going to go back at it next week probably, says something about Illinois. Yes, criminalizing local officials who vote for right-to-work zones.
Unions are so good for workers that they have to threaten to put people in jail if they don't join the union.
Ultimate thuggery.
That about sums it. All right, Steve Moore, Heritage Foundation senior economist, CNN economist, Wall Street Journal columnist. Steve, thanks for joining us as always. Appreciate it.
I'm just so glad I know two people in Chicago, Dan and Amy, who don't revile me.
Yes, exactly. It's starting a movement. Yes.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan, we have some breaking news. MSNBC and NBC have parted ways with Mark Halperin.
Oh.
This after 5 women came forward and told their stories of horror to CNN.
And then he realized in retrospect,
he shouldn't have
putting
done
his
that.
junk on people's shoulders is not appropriate.
No. And now he gone. Forecast for today, mostly sunny. Enjoy it. We're going to have a high near 60 degrees. And then tonight, a low around 43. For Friday, yes, it's Friday tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, not as cool. A high only in the mid-40s. Let's now go into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Bundle Line 60 is still blocked between Diamond Lake and Maple. Problems with the rail crossing on the south side. 83rd is closed between Ellis and Woodlawn for investigation of a collision earlier. A police vehicle at a construction site with major injuries. Eden's 25 minutes Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 28 Kennedy. An hour O'Hare to downtown, 29 minutes from Montrose, 27 in the Express, outbound 44 to the airport. The Ike, an hour and 7 minutes Thorndale to downtown, 49 minutes from Manheim, outbound 48 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour, 3:55 to the drive, outbound 53 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, southbound heavy from before Irving Park to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State gummed up, 21 to Atkinson. Northbound 95th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Veterans Memorial from the Des Plaines River Bridge, the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. 8094 eastbound at Grant, crash cleared, but there are delays both directions. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews with opinion leaders and policymakers in our Against the Current segment. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from me. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes. Illinois Opportunity Project about bad actors in public office in this state, the state we call Illinois. And podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics that airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on this station. In addition to Against the Current, our Man on the Street, follow the logic segments this week on Senators Dyfai and Durbin trying to impose a religious test on Trump judicial nominees. And don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, free property tax report on your home, the implications of the confiscatory property taxes you pay on home value, as well as a petition that you can download and help us get petitions to get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would ask people if they want to bring the Indiana property tax system to Illinois, which would reduce property taxes by half to 2/3 overnight. All the property tax info is at defendhomeowners.com. The rest, upstream-ideas.com.
A message from Foremost Capital Management in Geneva, Illinois. Investing in today's market is tough. The individual investor is at a disadvantage. How well are your investments positioned to deal with another meltdown? In 2008, the stock market dropped 21%. The Dow Jones has rallied over 4,000 points since the last U.S. election. Will this continue forever? Are your investments diversified with something uncorrelated to stocks? Foremost Capital Management specializes in managed futures trading. They connect clients with top traders and strategies. Let them show you how. If you're looking for diversification in your investments, contact Foremost Capital Management for a no-obligation consultation. Call Bob Miller at 888-BOB-MILLER. That's 888-262-6455. Again, 888-262-6455. Or visit foremostcm.com. That's foremostcm.com. Futures trading can involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
They really have made a difference. I mean, when I started taking them, I could not tie my shoes because of the knee pain. I have arthritis and I actually bent down and tied my shoes by mistake. I was so used to not being able to do it. I couldn't believe I did it. And that was shortly after starting the Balanced Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to Square Trade phone protection instead, or half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. Square Trade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to Square Trade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to Square Trade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
It's Glocktober at Shrink Smoke and Gun. All store-owned Glocks are on sale at the lowest prices allowed, including all Gen 5 pistols. Plus 10% off all Glock magazines, CMC triggers for Glock 9mm models, and all night sights for Glock. Shrinks will even include free installation from their on-site certified Glock armorer. Shrinks has dozens of Glock models in stock, and with the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, you'll avoid that Cook County firearm and ammo tax with just a short drive north. For gunsmithing, you know you can count on family-owned Shrinks for over half a century. And cigar lovers, be sure to stock up from Shrink's humidors. Don't miss Shrink's special Glocktober sale. Visit smokethelettern.gun.org or call 847-662-4034. Shrink Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. Online at smokethelettern.gun.org.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551. 1551.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this is very important. Your credit score is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. I strongly advise listeners purchasing a home to contact me as far in advance as possible so I can pre-qualify you for free. I will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing a home. Paying banks and other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com and get pre-qualified for free. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License 4358, and MLS 19186.
AM 560, The Answer.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
I should let him sing it. But Fats Domino died yesterday at the age of 89.
Right after Robert Guillaume died at the age of 89.
Yeah, so the question, who's next? 312-642-56. Well, no, normally celebrities die in threes.
Yeah,
so
I've heard that.
But this is, I didn't know. They tried to get Fats Domino, one of these producers in the 80s, tried to get him to reinvent himself. And he said, no, I'm not interested. And walked out of the studio.
Good.
Good for him. He's true
dignity.
to himself. Yep.
Yeah, dignity. And he was a great artist. And he'll be missed. Great.
You know who's
going to
miss him the most, though? Guess who's a huge Fats Domino fan?
Elvis. He's still alive, right?
No, Elvis is dead. But Elvis, yeah, Elvis's music was inspired by Fats Domino. Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin really enjoyed Fats Domino's, and he played him.
Do you think Putin had him killed to keep him quiet?
No. But in 2010, Putin was at a children's fundraiser for cancer research, and he played on the piano Blueberry Hill. I found my thrill, the song.
Wow. That's creepy. Because it's Putin, it's creepy. It has nothing to do with Fats Domino. Or does it? Maybe he's wrapped up into this whole Russian collusion story. Why don't we spin conspiracy theories about Fats Domino? They'd be just as good as half the things that are being spun by the DC press corps, for goodness sakes. By the way, you had that breaking news about Mark Halperin being relieved of his duties at MSNBC.
He's out at MSNBC and NBC News.
Yeah. Got an email from a listener, Bob. I wonder if Mark Halperin, when he rested his wedding tackle on a female, would say, with all due respect.
Guys are so bad.
It's good because it's a good Halperin reference, and it's good because wedding tackle's funny.
Yes, wedding tackle's funny.
I can explain that to you.
Yes, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, this is going to be a treat. She is a pistol. She is Red Pill Black. That's her vlogger handle. She's Candace Owens. We're going to ask her if Corn Pops boxes are racist at 8:08.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Dave Stewart in for Mike Scott.
It's 38 degrees in Chicago, and among the stories we're watching this morning, a construction worker has died in a sewer pipe accident in Streamwood. In Illinois, the House wants to know just how many unpaid state bills there are, and grad students at the U of I are considering a strike. Those stories and more after an update from Fox News on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago.
Stricter security takes flight overseas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A week after the acting head of Homeland Security said terrorists are still hoping to take down planes in another 9/11 type attack. Stricter screenings now in place for all flights to the U.S. Fox's Simon Owens live in London.
But Dave, many of the first passengers to face the stricter measures seem to be taking them in their stride.
I'm okay with it. The heightened security, the United States security. We need heightened security.
He's flying in from Hong Kong. He says he had to answer a few extra questions at check-in.
They asked me if I packed my own bag, where I packed it from, where I came from. They looked at my itinerary.
Airlines are warning travelers to allow extra time for the new screening. Delta advising passengers traveling to the U.S. to arrive at the airport at least 3 hours before their flight. Dave?
Simon, House Republicans will take a vote today on a budget framework that's key to tax reform, continuing the process the Senate started to avoid a Democrat filibuster on taxes. However,
we're told that there are about 20 to 30 House Republicans who have some real reservations about this budget.
And some have a big problem with a proposed tax change,
which would say they would get rid of the deduction for state and local taxes. That's a big blow to high-tax states, in particular New York and New Jersey.
Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol. At least 23 House Republicans joined Democrats voting no, the budget plan would fail. President Trump will this afternoon declare opioid drug addiction and overdoses a public health emergency, he told Fox Business.
The drugs pouring into the country have gotten, and I tell you what, we've made a big impact, but still, we need the wall.
Tens of thousands of people have died from opioids, which include painkillers, heroin, and fentanyl the last few years. Tampa, Florida's Mayor Bob Buckhorn has told police looking for a potential serial killer to bring his head to me. 3 people have been shot and killed the past 2 weeks in one neighborhood where police now are patrolling by car, bicycle, and on foot, promising nervous parents kids will be allowed to trick or treat next week. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 38 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. I'm David Stewart. A construction worker has died after getting stuck in a sewer pipe in northwest suburban Streamwood. Authorities say the victim was trapped last night while installing lining in the sanitary sewer near Park Boulevard and Parkside Circle. Parents of children who have or who have died of Krabbe disease are demanding action from state lawmakers on a mandated test to detect the fatal disease at birth. A law requiring that birthing room test was signed years ago by Governor Blagojevich, but has yet to be implemented. State Health Director Nirav Shah says it soon will be.
10 years, 4 agency directors, 3 governors. That's categorically unacceptable.
Shah says the law will soon be enforced. The Illinois House is demanding to know just how many unpaid bills the state really has. Lawmakers unanimously overrode the governor's veto of the so-called Debt Transparency Act. It would force the state government to report on spending and unpaid bills every month as opposed to just once a year. Governor Rauner scored a rare victory over House Speaker Michael Madigan when the House failed to override one of his vetoes. The bill in question would bar local governments from passing anti-union right-to-work ordinances. The sponsor, though, State Rep. Marty Moylan, plans to file a new bill during the veto session next month. And graduate students at the University of Illinois are considering a strike. The school's Graduate Employees Organization votes tonight on whether to authorize a strike over pay issues. In sports, the fire has been put out of the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. In the NBA, the Bulls host Atlanta tonight. The news is a service of Farmers Insurance.
As the road you travel changes, so do your insurance needs. Talking with a Farmers agent can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Cosola.
From the Fox Business Network, the iPhone 8 is not setting the world on fire. The Wall Street Journal reports the 2 market research firms find that the iPhone 8 is posting the weakest sales of any of the company's recent new phones. Consumers may be holding off on the 8 in order to buy the iPhone 10, which features an edge-to-edge display and facial recognition technology. Advanced sales of the 10 begin tomorrow. The FCC may be willing to scale back rules which limit ownership of local TV stations. Commission Chairman Ajit Pai, a Republican, told a congressional hearing he wants to open up TV licenses. Current rules limit the number of stations a company can own in a given market. And shares of Buffalo Wild Wings were surging in after-hours trading. The company reported earnings that were 50% higher than expected. A big reason? Buffalo Wild Wings is promoting boneless wings. They're made by forming chicken meat to resemble wings, and that helps the company avoid the rising cost of actual wings. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Roger Stern.
AM 560 News Time, 8:05. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Larry Elder is continually dumbfounded by the media.
The Harvey Weinstein scandal is now being used by the left to say, well, Donald Trump did the same thing. So we've elected Donald Trump. We've done Harvey Weinstein. The issue is really, really, really not just what's going on in Hollywood. The issue is, well, Donald Trump.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home, wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
At 8:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. We have closures in Mundelein of 60 between Diamond Lake Road and Maple, and also Diamond Lake Road is blocked between 60 and Hickory. There's a problem with the rail crossing and also now a stalled train in that area. Edens runs 25 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 28 to the Kennedy. An hour from O'Hare to downtown, 29 minutes from Montrose, 27 on the Express, outbound 44 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, Thorndale to Post Office, 49 minutes from Manheim, outbound 48 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 53 minutes. The Rhine, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown, clear outbound. I-57, 35 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 426. Lakeshore Drive, southbound heavy from Fort Irving Park to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State, stop and go 21 to Atkinson. Northbound 95th to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Reagan Tollway heavy from the Aurora Toll to Yackley. Westbound approaching the Tri-State with a crash in the left lane. Veterans Memorial Jam, the Des Plaines River Bridge to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. 8094 slow eastbound Calumet to Grant. Westbound 65 to Grant after a collision. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Breezy today with partial sunshine, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the afternoon and evening, high 58. Tonight becoming mostly cloudy with a low 40. Remaining mostly cloudy tomorrow, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high 46. Then a shower in spots late tomorrow night, low 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Lakefront 44 degrees, 41 at Midway, 41 at O'Hare. Next news update at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and we've talked about our next guest a couple of times as she has posted some kind of reality check videos is what I would say. She's a vlogger. She vlogs with the name Red Pill Black, and I use reality check purposely because, of course, that's a Matrix reference for you dorks out there like myself. And she's kind of broken through because of, straight talking posts like this in the wake of the Charlottesville contretemps.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I live in a bubble where black people and white people actually get along every day. When I went to the gym this morning, a white girl signed me in and handed me a towel. No beef. I was trying to figure out how to use this weight machine, and a black trainer came over and helped me. No drama. I even went to the coffee shop thereafter, and a Spanish girl made my latte with an extra shot. All good in the hood. And it was a great day. So you'll have to forgive me for not realizing that the figurative racial sky was burning and it was up to me to choose a side, because if I had known, I obviously would have picked none of you losers. Honestly, everybody involved in this fake racial war is a loser. So please, spare me the statuses and your white guilt and your black pride, because I really don't care to see it. You know what's going to happen if we keep down this path? We are actually going to allow the media to create those divisions where none existed prior.
For more, we're pleased to be joined by Red Pill Black. She is Candace Owens. Candace, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
I'm so excited to be able to talk to you guys. How are you doing?
Good. We've enjoyed your videos, and so have many of our listeners, so it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And just a little bit on what prompted you to start posting your views on the world around us, and how surprised were you by the popularity of them?
So to answer the first question, I was inspired by, obviously, the rise of Donald Trump. I was actually, people don't know this, I was a liberal a year and a half ago. So I was believing sort of this media hysteria, and then I had what everyone refers to as your red pill moment. And a year later, after watching, what they did to Trump, and then he won, and what they continued to do to Trump, I decided that I had enough and that I wanted to be in this game 100%. So I opened my laptop, made a few videos, and to answer your second question, absolutely shocked that, I think by the third video, it was trending worldwide. It was dubbed in French and in Portuguese, and it let me know that I was really tapping into a sentiment of people just believing that we're being lied to by the media. And it's not just an American sentiment, it's one the world over.
Now, I know when you transform from a liberal to a conservative, you might lose some friends or family members along the way. What has been their reaction?
In terms of the friendships, it was a natural shedding, and it had to happen, I think. So I have no regrets there. A lot of me had always kind of questioned their intentions. Everyone was sort of a victim, and I've never been a victim. People have said to me, Candace, you say you're a Democrat, but I'm pretty sure there's no way that you could possibly be a liberal because you run on logic, and I always have run on logic. In terms of family, they've been largely very accepting of it. They love what I'm doing, and they just say, oh, that's just Candace. She's always thought for herself, and I have always had my own mind since I was a little girl. So nothing bad there, fortunately.
The thing that I liked about some of what you had to say, including that snippet we just played, is when you were talking about Charlottesville and then kind of comparing it to your daily life where you interact with people of all shapes and sizes, races and everything, and there's no problems, which is, I think, the experience of most people, and I think that was the point you were making.
Right, and it's interesting that people rely on their experiences that the TV tells them. They don't even rely on their own personal experiences that they have every day.
Yeah, exactly. But the other thing I liked about that was I'm not on anybody's side. This, like forcing me to choose a binary that I don't have to choose, and I'm not comfortable with either side of it. No, I don't have to choose it. I can just kind of voice my opinion wherever that lands on the spectrum on a particular issue.
Exactly. That's the number one misconception that people have. I do a lot of videos, and I speak out against Democrats and the leftist media, so they assume that I'm a Republican, and that couldn't be further from the truth. All I'm doing here, I speak out against Democrats because they've been the ones that have warped black thought, I think, the most, and they continue to warp black thought and have people focus on the wrong issues. But I am by no means a Republican. I just encourage people to think independently, and all I ever want people to do is to think for themselves.
I don't know if you're going to be vlogging about this, but American Airlines accused of racism after some disturbing incidents, and the NAACP is warning black folks about flying American Airlines. So have you studied into that? Have you researched it?
I have not studied into that, but I'm not surprised. I mean, the NAACP is one of the worst groups for black people. All they do is jump on a platform. They never talk about real issues that are facing the black community, and it's all about PR for them. So I'm sure if they're involved, it's got to be absolute BS.
Do you ever get tired of kind of being asked questions to answer on behalf of a community that you share a racial profile with? In other words, as a black person, let's talk about K through 12 education for black children. As a black person, let's talk about economic opportunity for black people, as opposed to just you're talking to Candace about jobs, talking to Candace about how we should do K through 12 education in the 21st century.
Right.
You get the distinction I'm making?
Right. I understand exactly what you're saying, and the truth is I don't get tired of it because that is largely my mission, is to wake up the black community. I think we've been sleeping. You can see with these groups like Black Lives Matter, it's just encouraging black people to be angry and to only focus on the past, and that is never, ever, ever going to produce results in our futures. So I'm happy to be a leader. The black community needs new leaders in general. So while I'm always happy to weigh in about other issues, just as Candace the person, I'm also happy to be a new voice in the black community.
What do you do professionally before vlogging and all this stuff?
Yeah, so I worked for 3.5 years in private equity. That was primarily to pay off my student loans. I was at first an executive assistant, and then I was the vice president of the administration. I did a lot of the hiring for them and traveled a lot with the CEO. And yeah, so that's pretty much my history in terms of what I did for work. And then that's why I had to really kind of say, I have to either go in all the way with this, or you can't just dip your toe into politics. I probably will never be able to go back to being a private person ever again.
Interesting.
Yeah. Where were you born and raised? Like, what's your...
I was born in White Plains, New York, and I was raised in Stamford, Connecticut. People always assume when they hear that I was raised really wealthy because it's Connecticut, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I grew up very poor.
Huh. And, going your professional background is interesting. So there's a entrepreneur in Chicago who's a friend of ours, friend of the show. He's a successful black entrepreneur. He has a company called Killer Spin. It's a experiential ping pong company. It's really cool. His name's Robert Blackwell. He's a super sharp guy. He's actually like a math genius, but he goes off into these entrepreneurial ventures. And one of the things he says in terms of the inflection or the intersection point for the black community in terms of kind of reshaping what's happening and how people are thinking about what the pathway to more opportunity, more success is. He thinks it's entrepreneurship. School choice and some of the other arguments that have been made, even from the center right, are all well and good, but he really thinks it's about entrepreneurship, business starts, black families supporting black businesses, white people who want to be supportive, just doing business with black people, not a program, just a mutually beneficial exchange like any other business transaction. And that's really the pathway to, a different trajectory for the black community writ large in this country. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I don't necessarily agree that it's the number one thing, but it's a huge component. I always say that it starts with the family. The way that black people have gotten here to begin with is the breakdown of the black family. People don't understand. There's a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I read it when I was probably way too young to read it. My uncle gave it to me, and it just shows you how different you grow up if you grow up around people that are wealthy, the dinner conversations that are different versus people that are very poor. A lot of our families, the fathers are away in prison. There was when Bill Clinton was in office, he basically destroyed an entire generation of black families, and you don't understand what that does. So to encourage entrepreneurship, you would have to imagine that person grew up in an environment that they felt inspired enough to be an entrepreneur, that they had the self-confidence to be an entrepreneur. And unfortunately, that isn't the case. So ironically, I'm involved with a charity that's in Chicago that's trying to stomp out father absence, and that's kind of my number one 501c3 thing that I do. It's always for fathers and pro-fathers.
Are you trying to convince
What's the nonprofit?
C2EFA. It's called Cycling to End Father Absence. It's run by David Hirsch.
Oh, okay.
Is it again C2FA? C2FA.
So it's Cycling to End Father Absence. It's 21st Century Dads is the official name of the charity, and they do these cycling events all over the nation.
Oh, okay.
To raise money for different causes. So sometimes it's for incarceration, helping that transition when fathers get out. And other times it's for fathers that are raising special needs kids, because that's the number one reason that fathers walk away. People don't know this. In divorces, they have the highest divorce rates, parents of special needs. So I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the family, and I understand how much coming from a full family benefits a child later in life.
Yeah, how did your father, what impressions did he mark on your soul and on your character?
Yeah, so I have a father. My parents are divorced. My family is no example to any family, the way a family should be run. But yeah, my father is not present in my life currently. He lives on the West Coast, and even though he was always around when I was a child, he didn't mark any sort of leadership amongst, in my heart, I would say. My grandfather is kind of the person that ran the family and made sure everybody came and sat down and ate dinner and that sort of a thing. So I look up to my grandfather more than anything in the world.
I get the sense that you're a bit younger than us, particularly Amy. I'm just kidding.
I do have my ARP card, but okay. No, I'm kidding.
So I want to get your take on what's it seems to me you're not too far removed from a college campus, and what your take is on the race identity politics and gender identity and just all of the kind of non-behavioral characteristics identity politics that happens on college campuses that's spilled out into the body politic and the culture at large.
Right. So my opinion on it, I actually just got back from visiting Berkeley. I've been there twice so far this month. And I've kind of gone around and spoken to the students. And my opinion is that it's the perfect time. And again, I always go back to the idea that liberals and Democrats, this has kind of been their marketing shtick. They appeal to people that can vote, but really kind of know nothing about life. So when you're in college, you don't understand anything about rent, you don't have a mortgage. The perfect person to tap into and say, you got to care about something. Don't you care about these social issues? And they don't understand that while their hearts are well intended, they don't really have a fully formed brain when it comes to understanding the real issues that we're facing in America. So what we're basically seeing is, in my opinion, a mass marketing campaign, a very well-funded, perhaps George Soros, where they just kind of implement, and they've been sort of changing the way that these children think. And the truth is, it doesn't just start in college. People talk about college all the time. My ideas, the reason that I was a liberal for so long is because it starts when you're in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Every time I opened a history book, Democrats were the heroes. If I, as a black person, they freed us as slaves, they did this, they did that. Every opportunity you ever had, LBJ in office, you don't learn about the dark side of history. It's perfectly curated, so we almost have to go back and understand who okayed these textbooks in general. It's a mass brainwashing that starts, well beyond college. And I always say public education is not free. It's a brainwashing. It's a way to condition people to think.
Yeah, I mean, we completely glossed over the Japanese internment camps. I mean, that was just like, oh, and then we did something over here. Oh, okay, next chapter. Right. I mean, honestly, we didn't even discuss it.
A couple of people were held. Yeah,
a couple of people. We questioned some Japanese families just to make sure that, they weren't spies here in America.
Right, exactly. And what's interesting, I'm glad you bring up Japanese families, they're always talking about white privilege. Who's doing the best in America right now? Asians. The Asians are doing the best, and no one talks about why. You want to know why? It's because they work hard. There is no privilege. The bottom line is that people have to work hard no matter what their history is if they want to have a productive future.
Unless you're a politician, there's political class privilege. That's a real thing.
Oh, of course.
All right, so I got to ask you this too. This is the burning issue of the day. This seems to me what's separating us from becoming a colorblind society. It's the Corn Pops box. Of course, I'm talking about the Corn Pops cereal box. There's a brown Corn Pop cartoon on the cereal box, and he's a janitor Corn Pop, and so this this was protested, and now Kellogg's, a Fortune 500 company, Kellogg's is responding to somebody tweeting about it, and they're redesigning their boxes over one person complaining and suggesting that's promoting racism.
Well, this is the same Kellogg's that pulled out all of their funding to Breitbart because people put pressure on them during the Donald Trump election. So I'm not surprised. Breitbart, whoever's running that company, is obviously super, super liberal. And look, it's their funeral. Let them do what they need to do. I mean, I think it's laugh out loud funny. It's ridiculous. And I just can't imagine. Don't you ever wonder these people that go around and look for reasons to be offended?
I know. It's got to be a full-time job.
Cereal aisle. Right? Like, I can't imagine being in the cereal aisle and, walking away crying. It's just so funny to me. It's amazing, right?
I tried to communicate to the cashier. I can't speak right now. The Corn Pops box. Candace.
Hey, it's going to be a collector's item. Trust me. That
probably. Candace Owens at Red Pill Black. Red Pill Black is her vlogger handle. You obviously, from what you've heard today, you're going to want to continue to follow her and watch for her ruminations on the passing scene. Candace, pleasure to speak with you. Hope to do it again. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys so much. Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too. And we'll have you back soon. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Shoot Point Blank is celebrating the grand opening of their 4th area location at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville this weekend starting Friday, October 27th. Shoot Point Blank is a clean, safe, and comfortable shooting range and gun shop featuring a climate-controlled 20-lane shooting range, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Now you can experience the Point Blank difference in Naperville and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
Help us celebrate Shoot Point Blank's 4th area location at the Naperville grand opening this weekend with great deals from top manufacturers, including Smith & Wesson, plus all kinds of fantastic offers and giveaways. The first 100 customers each day will receive a free Shoot Point Blank ball cap. Shoot Point Blank is open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Experience the difference this weekend at their grand opening. Visit shootpointblank.com for details.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's a wonderful product. I mean, it's an absolute wonderful product. I'm so grateful that I heard about it.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't take, I didn't take it faithfully. I'd forget. And then I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I really started taking it right. And what a difference. What a difference.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent, people who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours. And your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place. So it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, proud hiring partner of the Fighting Illini.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/GoIllini.
Depression. You need to make it go away. Cure or remission is here. The revolutionary treatment of TMS.
800-604-0208.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive. Here's how it works. There are areas of the brain that control mood. If you suffer from depression, research has found these areas to be underactive. TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate these mood centers, causing long-term, medication-free relief. HBR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin offer TMS. End the frustration with life and relationships.
It's FDA cleared and it is covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare.
Dangerous drugs and other treatments just mask the depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation.
800-604-0208.
HBR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy getting a lot of great reaction to Candace Owens, a.k.a. Red Pill Black. How about Verlon, our friend on the south side?
How's it going, Dan and Amy? I had to call about that beautiful young lady that I just heard speak.
Amy?
I know she's a beautiful young... And I'm talking about Candace.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I know she's a beautiful young lady because I just listened to her mind. And you know what? Her straight talk, in your face, tell it like it is, speak, sounds like poetry to me. Matter of fact, it's music to my ears. And you know what? Dan, I'm going to have to steal a liberal phrase, and I hope you forgive me for it. I'm with her.
Yeah. I like it, Verlon. Nice job.
Woo-hoo.
Well played. Mark in Wilmette.
Hello, Dan and Amy. I hope you saw my pictures on Twitter of the one-day pop-up of you two in my front yard with all the political figures.
Oh, yes.
Or
yes,
Halloween.
I did. Yeah, thanks for that,
we made
Mark.
your lawn?
Yeah, thanks for Mark. Mark and Wilmette always has these Halloween displays. I don't know if it's complimentary or not because he has like all these politicians.
Yeah.
But he did, and it's on my Facebook page, and I tweeted it out too at Dan Proft. I think you tweeted out at Amy Jacobson.
Yes, I did.
All right, or if you haven't, do it. But yeah, so we got our own, and I look
like Roma.
Yeah, you do a little bit. You look sort of like Elaine Boozler with that hair.
Oh gosh.
And for me, it was like I was looking into a mirror.
I mean, it is you.
Yeah.
It's your wax. It's your wax figure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That square-jawed, rugged, handsome, svelte young
keep
man.
Their hands off you. Give me more of that statue.
Why does it have to be a one-day pop-up? Isn't it? Why can't we just remain on the lawn until Halloween's over?
We'll bring that up with Mark and Wilmette because you're right. That should run through the holiday.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
What happens when Ronner goes away and his money goes away with him at 8:36?
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Thank you, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. 41 degrees in Chicago, 8:32 now on AM 560, The Answer. Partly sunny, breezy today with a high of 58. President Trump says the Obama-era uranium deal is a lot bigger than anyone previously thought.
The uranium sale to Russia and the way it was done, so underhanded, with tremendous amounts of money being passed, I actually think that's Watergate modern age. At
the White House, the president said the whole Russia investigation is now being turned around. The Puerto Rico power outage now being called the biggest blackout in U.S. history. New research says the damage caused by Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands has resulted in a record high 1.25 billion hours of lost electricity so far. Parents of children who have died of Krabbe disease are demanding action from state lawmakers on a state-mandated test to detect that fatal disease at birth. A law requiring the birthing room test was signed years ago by Governor Blagojevich, but has yet to be implemented. State Health Director Nirav Shah says it will be soon.
We expect right now to be online with Krabbe testing by the end of the year. I know that is cold comfort for the families who have joined us here this evening.
At a hearing yesterday, parents testified that the low-price test would have saved their children's lives. Two men are accusing a former Evanston high school teacher of sexually abusing them decades ago. Both filed lawsuits claiming that Bruce Seaworth groped or fondled them while they were students. In sports, it's one and done for the Chicago Fire, ousted from the MLS playoffs by the New York Red Bulls 4-0. Bulls host Atlanta tonight. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. For more than 90 years, Napa Auto Parts has provided the quality parts and expertise to help you keep almost anything on the road. And now, with Napa Rewards, you can save money on all the parts you need to keep your car running. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. AM 560 News Time, 8:34. We'll check the traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? There is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
At 8:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eden's inbound heavy Foster to the junction. 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. Kennedy, 1 hour and 4 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 40 minutes from Montrose, 33 in the Express. Outbound 19 to Montrose, 39 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes from Thorndale to downtown. 49 minutes from Manhunt, outbound 47 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 43 minutes. Ryan is 35 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, gummed up from Lawrence to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-States, heavy delays from 21 to Atkinson, northbound from 95th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Reagan Tollway heavy from the Aurora Toll to Yackley. Veterans Memorial from the Des Plaines River Bridge to the Reagan Tollway, Army Trail to 290. It's heavy on eastbound 8094, Calumet Avenue to I-65, westbound I-65 to Grant. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
And now your forecast. For partly sunny and breezy today, see a high of 58. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 40. Mostly cloudy again tomorrow, breezy and cooler. Tomorrow's high only 46. Right now, it's 41 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 9 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss Freedom Summit Chicago 2017, Saturday, November 11th, featuring Dinesh D'Souza and Oliver North. Tickets on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com.
And don't forget to join Lieutenant Colonel Alan West at the Illinois Family Institute Family and Freedom Fall Banquet, which is Friday, October 27th at the Stonegate and Hoffman Estates from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will share his passion for inspiring hope for our nation's future while you dine with hundreds of other pro-family warriors. For more details and to buy tickets, visit IllinoisFamily.com. That's IllinoisFamily.com.
Perfect segue to the story about the illegal immigrant who was granted access to a taxpayer-funded abortion. This 17-year-old Jane Doe, who's in this country illegally, was okayed for an abortion in Texas. Represented by the ACLU was the young woman against the state, and that went down. And the response to this has been interesting, particularly in light of the Planned Parenthood videos over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And where are Republicans keeping their promise to defund Planned Parenthood? Oh, by the way, Teen Vogue. What the Jane Doe abortion case says about parental involvement laws. You know what it says? According to Teen Vogue, for those whose daughters.
I'll let my description run out, but yeah,
well, how about for those with daughters who think Teen Vogue is all hip and cool? This is the kind of content they're getting, they're potentially consuming. What to do about parental involvement laws? You got to get rid of them, of course. Jane Doe's case highlights one aspect of a larger assault on young people's access to abortion: parental involvement laws. 37 states require parental involvement before a young person can get an abortion. The laws require a teen to either notify in 11 states or get consent in 21 states before they can get an abortion, right? Of course, this is not possible or desirable for all young people. No, it's all about the kids' desires, of course. This piece goes on, these two legal ghouls that wrote this op-ed for Teen Vogue. Parental involvement laws disregard the moral agency and decision-making of young people. Yeah, I know. I mean, you want your 15-year-old to be driving the train in your household, don't you?
Yeah, right.
Right? This is what Teen Vogue's saying. Fascinating piece, but it tells you, and they right here in black and white tells you what they actually believe. Cutting parents out of the decisions of their children, minors. Now, of course, not if little Johnny needs an aspirin at the nurse's office in school, or has some ointment that needs to apply. Then you got to leave work to go to the school to do it yourself, or you've got to sign off on aspirin. But an invasive surgical procedure, hey, you mind your own business, mom and dad. That makes sense to you? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Turns out it doesn't make sense to most people, including a whole host of people who are pro-choice.
Right.
The interesting thing, too, is this decision comes on the heels of a release of another video by the Center for Medical Progress and David Daleiden. They spoke with a woman who was profiled in one of their earlier videos, Holly O'Donnell, who previously worked as a procurement tech for STEM Express, which is one of the middlemen that Planned Parenthood uses to, illegally traffic in baby body parts. That's not gruesome. Thanks to David Daleiden, who asked the question, what does Planned Parenthood do with all of the aborted fetuses, the aborted babies? He asked the question, and he found the answer. And everybody is a lot more knowledgeable about Planned Parenthood because of his work and the work of Center for Medical Progress, despite the legal persecutions that have been efforted against Daleiden and his colleagues for exposing illegality. By the way, the senator, I think the candidate who's most likely to replace Bob Corker,
who?
A senator from Tennessee, is Marsha Blackburn.
Right.
The congresswoman who...
she's been on this program, too, before.
And she was the chairman of the House Select Committee that investigated Planned Parenthood after all of this was unearthed. Listen to Holly O'Donnell giving you a first-person perspective as somebody who was inside abortion clinics on behalf of STEM Express.
It didn't really feel real.
Yeah.
And she's showing me parts of, this is a leg, this is an arm. And then she says, put some gloves on. So I put the gloves on. She hands me the tweezers. She goes, oh, can you show me some of the parts that I just showed you? I said, yeah. And I put the tweezers in, and I put on one of the limbs, and I've never felt this in my life. I felt the pain radiate through my hand. You can feel the death go up through, something was just alive, and I grabbed it, and I felt that. I started to get woozy, and I said, and I stopped, and she's like, are you okay? And next thing I know, I woke up in the recovery room. I had blacked out, and one of the nurses was there, and she's like, oh, you're awake now? You okay? I said, what happened? She said, you passed out when you saw the POC, the remains. I said, oh, I'm so embarrassed. She said, oh, don't worry. Honestly, some of us never get over it.
By the way, this is what your tax dollars will be funding in Illinois, thanks to Governor Rauner and Chicago Democrats. Okay? What Holly O'Donnell is describing, what Teen Vogue is promoting. That's what you'll be funding. That's what your money is going to go to fund, thanks to Bruce Rauner and Chicago Democrats. Now, to his credit, he and Diana, his wife, the Rauners, social justice warriors, as she describes them, they also layer on your tax money with their own. I mean, they're $50,000 and up donors to Planned Parenthood Illinois. This Planned Parenthood that we're talking about. This Planned Parenthood that the Center for Medical Progress has documented through their more than a dozen videos. And that's why, among many, many other reasons, Bruce Rauner is politically a dead man walking. Yesterday in veto session, a dozen of the bills Rauner vetoed were overridden, which is in very stark contrast to the first 2 years. So even if you're thinking, oh, well, he'll be better than whatever the Democrat is if he's the nominee, well, he'll be irrelevant because he's, obviously the Democrats aren't going to, the Democrats are going to run the show, and he's either going to comply or he's going to be overridden because he's destroyed the trust between him and the significant portions of both the House and Senate Republican caucus. So he can't get anything done. All this blather you hear on television commercials now, how he's still going to fight and how he's still going to turn around Illinois and all these things that he promised to do that have not come to pass over the first 3 years, they're no longer possible because he has no integrity, so there's no trust, so there's no interest. It's every man for himself on the Republican side, with Democrats unified to drive their big government cultural Marxist agenda. That's the actual reality on the ground, and you're seeing it play out in the veto session right now. For those kind of, I guess, Ronner type of folks who don't think he should be challenged, who think we should try and rally around him and come together on whatever it is we still agree on. You know, trying to invoke the 80% Reagan rule. Hardly. Phil on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Nice to hear you guys. Just want to add to your point. Rauner has just put it down that we can have our children make decisions on being an organ donor without our permission, but we have the option to opt out. And Rahm Emanuel, to get down teenage pregnancies in Chicago public schools, wanted to inoculate all our children with sterilization shots, but we had the option to opt out. So I imagine as they sell, $25 million worth of heroin on our streets, we have the option to opt out. I mean, this never ends. These are the godless Luciferian communists. They are not Democrats. They're not Republicans. Madigan's been there since I was born in '71. These are the Luciferian godless communists running our city and your state.
Thanks, Phil. Sean from Elmwood Park.
It's about time that a face be put on baby murder the way it has been lately. And I'll tell you another thing. For you people with your horn-rimmed glasses on, driving around in your Mercedes in Hinsdale, who say shut up and support this fraud, 7 foot is stupid, and his scarecrow wife. You're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So when you give this lowlife money, when you give him your vote, that's what you stand for. So get on the line with this baby murdering scum and stand for it, because you're going to wear it. That's what he did. And the idea that I have to pay for these imbecile teenagers who want to kill their kid, who, by the way, politicians say, you're not smart enough to light up a Macanudo, but you're smart enough to kill my grandkid. You're scum, too. Let's get them on a line and put them where they belong. I am so disgusted with the idea that I work like a dog and my money goes to whack these babies. Is sickening to me.
Thanks for the call, Sean. Oh, by the way, what's going to happen when Ronner goes away, and he is going away one way or the other, and he takes all his money with him, because you know what he's created is welfare queens in the General Assembly. Am I still allowed to use that term? Well, it's appropriate here when he used it to describe someone like House Republican leader Jim Durkin. These guys don't work. They just exist off Ronner's money. And as a PrairieStateWire.com story, that it's one of my outlets, and it compares the fundraising that Jim Durkin has done, as the House Republican leader, to somebody I worked for, not at the time, but we compared 2017 versus Lee Daniels in 1997, who was the only Republican in the last 40 years to be called Speaker. Lee Daniels in 1997, he raised that cycle going into the 1998 cycle, adjusted for inflation, $1.5 million from more than 1,000 contributors. Jim Durkin, $220,000 from 110 contributors. As one suburban GOP official who's helped raise money for candidates for a long time said, Illinois Republicans' fundraising infrastructure has been destroyed. The legislative leaders just rely on the governor. But what are they going to do when he's gone? Right. He doesn't. He has, the Naperville mayor's wife, who's kind of an event planner, pretends to be a fundraiser. She's no fundraiser. Jim Durkin's not a fundraiser. If between July 1st and September 30th, Jim Durkin got a single individual non-corporate contributor. And you say, oh, the politicians, all they do is raise money. Well, raising money, if you're a legislative leader, a caucus leader, is part of the job, because you need to help support your caucus members, right? Or prospective caucus members. You need to run successful campaigns, and that takes resources. Let's not be naive. And so this is the political incompetence I'm talking about, just as the political incompetence with Ronner failing to field a comptroller or a state treasurer candidate to date. Unbelievable. Not in my lifetime, not in anybody's memory, have you had an incumbent governor unable to fill a statewide slate. particularly for offices that you can win, like comptroller and treasurer. Both
Right.
of those offices are eminently
And there's
winnable.
nobody?
No candidate circulating that I know of. And they're not, and so this is the same thing.
So he doesn't care about the party, he cares about himself.
Well, that's right. And it's
I
the
mean,
sa-
because
and-
really you want to stack your team with like-minded people.
Well, and it's the same thing with Durkin. Durkin just want these guys don't care if they win. They just care about the title and the sinecure. That's why they don't work. And Durkin, there's another story that we did at PrairieSideWire.com about friends of Madigan who are also citizens for Durkin, meaning the same contributors. It's all institutional. It's all a candidate transfers in. It's all inside the bubble. And the lack of contributors ordinary individual contributors, even wealthy individual contributors outside of the bubble, the presence or lack thereof is a good indicator of popular support, of infrastructure, of bandwidth, which they have none. Frankly, not to be immodest, but if it wasn't for outside groups like those I'm affiliated with, the Republican Party and this state, the Republican Party would have ceased to exist. This state would be 3/4 of the way to California, where the Republican Party is a rumor. There's not much of a conservative grassroots movement. You basically conceded the state, and there's pockets of Republican elected officials that maybe can do something on the margins, but more are likely just mascots for the outposts in California that remain Republican, few that there are. That would be Illinois. We wouldn't be in a position to potentially pick up the 9 seats that we need to depose Madigan if it was left to Jim Durkin, who's actually the caucus leader. And it was the same thing with Rodonio in the Senate, and we'll see how Bill Brady does. He's new, so we'll give him some runway. But, they're fascinating stories. They're bad at their jobs, in addition to being treacherous, in addition to surrender as their opening salvo. Should think about it when you look at matchups for March 20 primaries and when you look at matchups for November general elections.
And we mentioned to you about Lieutenant Colonel Alan West joining us here Friday, October 27th at Stonegate and Hoffman Estates. Right now, 2 listeners can win a pair of tickets to the IFI Family and Freedom Banquet with Lieutenant Colonel Alan West right now by being caller number 10 at 312-642-5600. Caller number 10, caller number 12. Jump online and get 2 free tickets to the Freedom Banquet with Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, 312-642-5600. Good luck.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In his remarkable press conference, Trump Chief of Staff General John Kelly prompted reflection on that which was once sacred and should be, but no longer is. Women, the dignity of every life, religion, Gold Star families, selfless service to country, all once sacred, now not so much. General Kelly provided a timely reminder that civilization is not always advancing. The latest point in time is not necessarily the most enlightened. Societies can regress. The nature of man is immutable. Thus, edifying influences like faith, family, and work, and the responsibilities associated with each are necessary. Notions of duty and honor keep us from devolving into a Hobbesian state of nature. So what is sacred? The politician of all things makes state power sacred. Banning books and blocking speakers to protect feelings makes conceit sacred. In other words, the power to distribute other people's stuff and eliminate dissent has replaced what General Kelly described as sacred and what 4 Green Berets died on a distant battlefield to protect as sacred. If you believe their last full measure of devotion for your freedoms was sacred, then you might consider fighting to preserve them.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shoot Point Blank is celebrating the grand opening of their 4th area location at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville this weekend starting Friday, October 27th. Shoot Point Blank is a clean, safe, and comfortable shooting range and gun shop featuring a climate-controlled 20-lane shooting range, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Now you can experience the Point Blank difference in Naperville and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable too.
Help us celebrate Shoot Point Blank's 4th area location at the Naperville grand opening this weekend with great deals from top manufacturers including Smith & Wesson, plus all kinds of fantastic offers and giveaways. The first 100 customers each day will receive a free Shoot Point Blank ball cap. Shoot Point Blank is open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Experience the difference this weekend at their grand opening. Visit shootpointblank.com for details.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Dennis Prager here. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants, get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Well, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants bring. Everyone is different. Don't settle for mass-produced implants. Did you know that there is a difference in quality of the actual implant